Just got back in the crib, charging my phone.
What's up,
Go ahead,
everybody?
start it.
Welcome to another episode of Knowledge Uprising. Uh, we just did a panel where we were talking about reptilians. Now we're building on to something else. We're done with that topic. I'm mad the video didn't upload properly, but it's all right. We're gonna keep it going. What's going on out there, guys?
What on, Joe?
What up? What up? What's good? Yo, what's my guy name right here? If you can hear it good, Squint. Can you hear? You can hear us good? I don't know, but
Yo,
yeah,
Squint.
man. I just got in the back chat with you guys, and I think I came in on an interesting bill. Because I do a lot of I don't know how could you really introduce that, like basically like allegories.
I was gonna answer him right here.
Hey, I'm gonna pick him up.
I don't know, but for me, it's like allegory. Like
Yeah,
when you mention,
yeah, like metaphoric text almost.
yeah, it's like
Yeah, definitely.
one of the things that people would say to me, because like I would say, with me becoming like a vegetarian back in the day, I would say that I would look at the story of Jesus, right, and be like, nah, Jesus has got to be a vegetarian or vegan or something like that, right? And hold on, I want them to strike you because there's music outside.
Oh, you good, brother? You good, brother, man? You good? Go ahead.
But so I would be like, yo, nah, Jesus was got to be vegetarian because how could he want to harm animals and stuff like that if he's to fulfill the law, not to change the law? Like I'd be like, yo, he was married, everything. Like when they say like Mary Magdalene went to the tomb with Mary, his mother, I was like, nah. In the Jewish culture, that only family could do stuff like that. So like she got to have been married to him and stuff like that. So I just would look at things differently. And one of the allegories in particular that I would use for like vegetarians and stuff like that when they say walked on water, like I know the bro Drop was saying that it could be like it was frozen, and I never thought of that one. I'm like, nah, that's a good one, like even like the salt flats, you know what I mean? But I also thought about maybe like fasting. You feel me? Like you really literally walking on water, like just was on some fasting for, you know what I mean, for a time. So I would just throw that out there to kind of get people to thinking differently, rather than just accepting what's being told. Because if you accept what's being told and you're looking at these stories, you wouldn't see like when I was a little kid, when I looked at the story of Adam, well, of Gabriel and Mary. I'm reading it and it says, and Gabriel came unto Mary. I'm like
First of all,
11
ask
years
yourself
old.
this.
I'm like, yo, that sounds
Ask,
like he had sex with her. But
hey,
yeah.
ask yourself this question real quick. Before we had refrigerators and deep freezers, ask yourself when do you come across ice? The only time you would see ice is when it's cold. So if Jesus really walked on frozen, and and you got to think about this: if you didn't come in contact with ice, you didn't have a word for it. You didn't have the word ice back then. So they more than likely had the term for water. They had the liquid form. They just called it water, whether it was frozen or not. They still called it water. The term ice was given to the frozen water so that we can distinguish the two throughout communication a lot easier. You get what I'm saying?
Right. I think the ice word came in because you got to think. All right. I know Noah's Ark is fake. Okay. But I think the world did suffer a catastrophe. So they weren't calling it ice. They might have been calling it a language that the people survived, died off, and they came up with a new language. They might have been like, but that's bada. It's Matabadaba. Everything is Matabadaba. You know what I'm saying? No telling how they was talking. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? They been talking any kind of way, but they died off. But they offspring, it's sort of like if you died, right? All the grown-ups died, and everything left was the 16-year-olds and down. You only got one electricianist, three masonry block builders, uh, seven conscious people, and then you gotta rebuild and repopulate the whole earth. You know what I mean? You only got like
Yep.
28 carpenters nationwide. So when they rebuild, them people that still carpenters and them people that still know about fire, you would consider them gods. You'll be like, how would you? Because you're the student of them. You're the child of them. They're
Yep.
the ancestors. So once we quit looking at the ancestors and the people that, hold on, I survived slavery. That's why your little ass here with that slave name. They survived it. So you gotta listen to how they survived it. Christianity. Okay, I don't agree with Christianity, but I love it because y'all survived through it. I don't gotta believe it to know y'all survived through it. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta pay homage to that. But y'all go ahead, man. As you can tell, go ahead, bro.
You know what made me think the term about religion, where all the religions came? If your religion on somebody, I look at it because maybe you did it out of dire. You need everybody to believe in what you wanted them to believe in for a reason, because you really believe that if they will be fucked up. You know what I'm saying? That's one way to look at it. And another way to look at it is they just wanted to control shit. Christianity.
Have you ever noticed this, bro?
Yeah.
If you up in life, your money going good, that ain't gonna be your first time at church. It's gonna be when like you like, man, bro, I need an answer.
Yep.
They go to
Yep.
church, and then next thing you know, it give them an answer that's bigger than them. When the answer is so falsified, the answer is in you. The reason you went to church is the reason you fucked up. The reason the shit told you to go to church should have told your ass, hey, bro, I'm fucked up. Let me get my shit together. Period. The preacher ain't got to tell you, get your shit together. Get your shit together, bro. Period. All you got to wake up and say, I'm
That's it.
fucked up. Let me get
That's
my
it.
shit together. My
That's
hair
it.
nappy. I'm going to grow dreads or I'm going to get a fucking taper. My money funny. I'm going to get a job or I'm going to get some fucking, I'm going to hustle or I'm going to get some property. My kids don't respect me. Let me get them in line. It's all that. It's morals over. Y'all go ahead, man. Y'all know I get to this
Hey,
talking.
I
This
know.
Morals
fuck.
over
I
dogma.
feel you on that shit though, man. Real shit.
That's real shit,
Nah,
man.
morals over dogma though. That was the word that I would came to my mind. You know?
Yeah, that put it in perspective. See, that I wish somebody could like read my thoughts and talk my mind, man, because I can't talk it. Like let me put it like this about me. Give me like 3 sentences. I listen to everybody. I'm talking about pseudoscience. I'm talking about scholars. I'm talking about the brilliance of people. Now, my gift is I know what's real and what's fake, period. I can listen to anybody and be like, okay, that was some real. I can read the Bible and be like, okay, that's fake, that's real, that's fake, that's real. I can listen to one of y'all talk and say, okay, he wrong about that, he right about that. Because I believe in belief. But y'all go ahead.
Hey, I'm gonna do an experiment real quick, and it's gonna prove a point. I'm gonna tell y'all a story. Y'all false. All right. I saw a video. I saw a video of a guy, actually a white guy, and he threw a needle through a glass and popped the balloon on the other side of the glass. He threw a needle through the glass and popped the balloon on the other side of the glass. Now, if y'all hear me say that, y'all take it as, damn, this man really a piece of glass, right?
Right. I'm
Yeah.
listening. I hear you.
Yeah.
Now, if you just actually watch the video and you actually see it happen the same way I saw it happen, you would realize that it guy, for one, an Asian guy. He was concentrating his energy, and he put it on, and he threw the needle so damn hard that it glass from the impact that the needle made with the glass, which caused the balloon to pop. Glass from the other side of the glass is what popped the balloon. But if you just told it to a person the way I told it to you, you would say, "Damn, he threw that much like a dart." You know what I'm saying? That's what you that's what will come to your mind. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of the times when we look at what people leave behind as evidential information, we gotta look at shit from all angles at all times, because we gotta look at all possibilities of what they could have been talking about. You know what I'm saying? And because if we don't, we just gonna back our own beliefs based off of what they it's for us. You know what I'm saying? If you leave a manual, with a let's say you leave a book that tells a motherfucker how to build a computer, and you wrote that book in a special language, and language is in the book, but the only way to understand the language and understand the language is you gotta look for it in the book. So if you got on the front of that book how to build computers, and this big ass book is just sitting there, and you got somebody in computers, they're gonna read that book the regular way that they intend to read that book. They might not they know the damn knowledge that's in that book at one time. Going back and referencing shit. It probably take them a whole lifetime to really understand exactly the possibilities that they can actually do with the knowledge that's in that book. Because if you know how to build a computer, you may know how to you get what I'm saying? If you understand the basic components of how to build a computer. So I was using that as a reference point, basically describing how religions got their ancient, you know what I'm saying, holy books or whatever, as basically text from way back when, describing how the world was in that time.
Yeah, and they relating to that. And it could be some stuff they describing couldn't necessarily be the stuff we know today or what they're explaining, because they just seen the whole world different. They time
it was a total different time. Total different. Yeah, bro. So it's almost
the stuff that
it's almost close to impossible.
We can't take it too literal. We got to get an understanding of the perspective of living in that time if we was living in that time. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah, bro. That's the most important thing, bro. Especially if you're a historian. Like, you gotta understand empathy. You gotta really be responsive to empathy, bro. Like, you gotta really understand how to put yourself in other people's shoes to really decode half of shit.
I think that's what them things are saying though. Like, that's why I'm, in a way, I kind of hear what y'all saying, but I think we do have to take these things literally, because it was just other men like us, men and women, who were writing this stuff. And where were they drawing from? It ain't too much different. It ain't that long ago that this stuff has been like really created. You know what I mean? But I don't know how far back, you know, the stories may go where they, you know, but when you look at regular life, it all matches up. Like the stories, everything. Like, for instance, what's the number one commandment above all commandments? Love your neighbor as yourself. You know what I mean? Love God with all your might and love your neighbor as yourself. Like, you know, that's real shit, right? You know?
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's real shit, man.
I
look at it. Some things in the Bible I take literally, but some things I don't.
Yeah.
You know, some things I look at it like it's some kind of metaphoric type of responsive to this shit. Because when we look at the Bible, we got to remember, man, this shit was written not too long ago. The Bible wasn't written fucking a million years ago.
And I'll mute the mic if you.
Hey, the Bible wasn't written no 100 million years ago. You feel me?
Mute it and let you say what you were saying.
I'm about to come on down there and whoop somebody's ass. That's what I'm about to do.
Hey, I believe the motherfucking Bible is absolutely 100% authentic as fuck, right? Because the fake shit in the Bible is still a real message. You know what I'm saying? I don't think everything they say in the Bible happened. I don't think everything they say in the Quran happened. I don't think nobody would be able to write 100% facts. I don't care who write and whatever. Because mind you, the Bible was 400 years after they wrote about it. But what they saying some real shit. Somebody went and took 40 heads. It's serial killers right now we know that took 40 heads. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't nothing but stories written. I believe all that shit. You know what I'm saying? All right, put it, say for instance, was it Paul? It might have been Paul. One of them people in the Bible got exiled, right? They got sent to an island by themselves for like 10, 15 years. Any
That
any
was John.
Bible,
He got sent to the island Patmos in the book of Revelations, and he
right?
describes the end of the world, the wrath of God,
Right.
Armageddon. He
Now,
described all
now
that.
if he said it,
That was John,
if I send it
John the
now
Baptist.
say I send somebody from right now from America, I just throw them on an island, sort of like the movie Castaway. After 15 years, when you have some weird shit to say, I bet you did see God. Man, you was on an island by yourself for 15, 20 years. It wasn't another human around you. I bet God did come to you and say, look at nature.
Yep.
Hey, you
Period.
know what?
It's,
You know what?
it's
That's some
yeah,
deep shit.
that's a dope shit to think. I mean, and then on top of that, you got now with the revelation again. I must bring up the flat earth. Did they put them outside of our ring, outside of where we at? You get me what I'm saying?
And then
Like,
they call it heaven. Then they
yeah,
call it
or like,
heaven.
yeah, outside of it was there. Because see, my concept now is leaning sometimes towards them being afraid or dealing with this said entity, right? I could be 100% wrong, but I'm thinking, say the military and these royal people, they dealing with this entity, right? Let's just deal with them, because like they be like, yo, Moses went up to the mountain to go build with God and stuff like that, right? So let's just say on the outer ring, they there, whatever. And they worded in the story, like they hide it in the story, like, yo, they sent John away to island by himself. Only way he would be by himself is, what I mean, in this scenario would be out of the range, or in Antarctica or some sort of way, if it was like literal, or in a jail, or what I mean, or like you said, like in the Castaway situation, where in any one of them situations there's some kind of a intervention with yourself, and who knows what you're gonna see when you really tap in.
Especially, it's sort of like when they say they sent him to an island by itself. It's sort of like a cat getting locked up and get put in isolation, or put in a hole for like a year straight, or they don't see humans. Imagine if you ain't see humans for 10 years, man. No human. All you see is nature. You don't see not one human that say, "What's up? How you doing? How your life going? You all right?" You wouldn't care about how your life going, how you doing, is you all right, because you don't got to answer that question. You know what I'm saying? So now you write Wilson on the ball, and you be like, Wilson. For real, man, because you got to deal with yourself.
John and the island of Patmos. Now, and
Yeah,
then in the beginning, they sent Cain to Nod. And I be thinking about what was Nod. What is that about? Like, you know what I'm saying? If you want to,
that's
maybe.
Nimrod. But it's sort of like how, like, I call knowledge uprising. I don't call him knowledge. I call him uprising. I'll be like Brandon. I don't say Brandon such and such. You know what I'm saying? I'll be like, what up, Huey? I don't say the whole name. You know what I'm saying? So when you say nah, you gotta be like, okay, well, whose name sound like nah? You'll go Nimrod, and then you'll take all them words out, but I just call him nah to keep it culture. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. But it kind of could make a case for it, in the sense of when Nimrod was the rebellious one, or the one that seemed to rise up, want to do his own thing and stuff like that. So I could
No, he
see
the
some
king. Yeah, he the king of vanity.
of
Cause
Babylon.
mind you, before him was Mansa Musa. He was He was the king of nature. He ain't put a price on the gold or whatever. After they killed him off, they put a price on the gold, the silver, the bronze. They put a price on everything. And then all the way to this day right now, your penny is worth like $11. Each individual penny just because of the bronze. So they passed a law where you can't melt the penny down and sell the bronze. You know what I'm saying? So it's a billion people, not a billion. I'm talking kind of drunk. It's a lot of people that's saving a penny. So when they pass the law that you can melt the penny, like if you got 700 pennies, man, you got like $100,000, bro. Period. So they passed a law where you can't melt the penny down. That's just food for thought. Y'all keep building though.
Nah, that's what's up. Glad you mentioned that because literally just got like 4 bottles and started putting like coins in all of them. So that's I'm glad that you mentioned.
Facts. I got a shitload of quarters right now.
Yeah.
And 1964 and before. That's the quote. 1964 and before. If you got any coin that got that on it, it's real silver. You could take it to your jeweler right now. They'll put it on a scale and give you what silver is worth right now. Period. 1964 and before, like go through your quarters, go through all that shit. That's why they got these change machines, all in these like Acme's and all that. So you will give all your change to them, but you done gave them like 11 quarters that's worth. My God. By God. What they say, by God. I guarantee it. But no, that's another hustle though. But y'all keep building.
Yeah, bro. Nah, I'll be trying to dig in. I'm just over here looking at that scripture you was talking about with the island of Patmos. And then I just kept reading on, and I'll be trying to decipher the places and their meanings. You know what I mean? As we grow, try to go back and read it again and again, because it's like because this shit's, whoever wrote this stuff is really on some different type of time. Like I don't understand where they come from with this. You know what I'm saying? They're saying regular stuff.
Especially if they wrote it when they said they wrote it. How they even speaking in that tongue. That's crazy, bro.
Well, see, think about it, man. Like, especially with John being stuck on that island for years at a time, right? So let's just say he just come to a rationalization like how when Buddha did when he went off in nature, just had an out-of-body experience and all these things came to him. So his body was there on that island, but his soul, his mind, his life force was right there in the future depicting these things. Like even some of the things he's seen, he described to be like how they say John predicted 9/11. They talk about that and said the stuff he thought was giant birds and stuff could have been really airplanes, and it's a bunch of stuff in there. Even where they talk about 666, the mark of the beast. People look at it and took it as like into these times, like what he seen could have been like a barcode or something. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I've always asked myself, with the complexity of the Bible, what if that Bible was actually written in our future and time travel is real? Like, what if that book was actually written by...
Yo, you said time travel is real?
What if time travel is real, already been invented before, and the Bible was written in our future, and it's in our and the discovery of that book is in our past, but it was actually written in the future, and somebody went back to leave a message for the people long
it certainly looked
time
like
ago.
That. It certainly looked like that though. Like as I read it, when you're saying it, I'm trying to put it together, and that's like the words that like my mind was seeing. Like some definitely had foresight to come and drop this like this, because like when I don't know, man, it just seemed like that to me. Like when you name in Philadelphia and Sardis and Smyrna and Ephesus, and I'm like, who's thinking of this stuff? Like,
all the way to Satan, man. Hey, you know, if you take out the words to make Satan out of Saturn, it becomes you are Satan. It's insane. This shit is insane. I'm trying to tell y'all. Like, they so deep that they got the World Trade. We all know this. They got the World Trade Center blowing up on dollar bills that was printed how long ago? You know what I'm saying? So now they, if they advance, that means they're either controlling it. That's all that means. They controlling it. They know what they about to do, man. Years,
yeah, bro. Look, this
before it happened.
Bro, there's shit on YouTube where they got motherfuckers actually talking about they from the future and shit. Yeah, it could be fake, but then ask yourself, if it was real, how would you know it? If Sir Drop, if you came on the panel and the first time you came on the panel, if you came on the panel the first time you came on the panel, introduced yourself to everybody, your first time online, voicing yourself, broadcasting your energy on these waves, and you tell people that you was born in 2075, and when you went to school, they taught history on how time travel first became revolutionized and how shit like that became in your society, and you grew up, and you know what I'm saying, time travel was recreational in your lifetime. So you choose to go back and live throughout the 90s and the 2000 eras. And you know what I'm saying? You go back in time at like 17 to like 2007 or some shit. And you living among us now. And you tell people that you from the future and you know it's real. But do you really think that the world actually take it for what you're saying it is? Or are you just gonna be looked at like some crazy nut that actually went back in time in the body of your true reality? Because it's too far to believe. Like, if there are motherfuckers that's been coming back in time the whole time we've been alive, how the hell are we gonna actually respond to them if they were to get on the news tomorrow and say that shit? Like, the whole world would not believe them. Yeah. They wouldn't believe shit.
But
it's like that.
But I think time travel is more like, I don't think you can take your flesh between time. But I think, like, you know how you look at a kid and you be like, you got an old soul. And the kid looking at you. You sort of how like these kids right now can grab a cell phone and operate it.
Facts.
When you teach them that, when we barely could put blocks in a fucking ball, like we had like a square thing, we had to put the stars in it. Man, my grandkids grab their goddamn phones, they YouTube shit, they do everything, and I ain't tell them nothing.
Right.
It's like they tap in, but they know.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's evidential of the reincarnation of spirits. Well, I believe it's totally different. I believe time travel is man-made technology. Time travel is like nuclear energy. When man created nuclear energy, time travel will be the next step of mankind's inventions. Now, what I'm saying is this, bro. Like, they got people online right now talking about if they're from the future, and the future, the government that's in the future is actually sending soldiers back in time to this time. They're sending soldiers back in time to this time period for doing certain missions and shit. And they got advanced technology, like the clothes is even advanced. Like, the motherfucker was on YouTube talking about like the hoodies that they give that they make you wear when you go back to the certain time that you're going back to. They create the clothes that was popular back then, but they put technology in them. So like, whereas you'll see a person walking up the street wearing a normal, you know what I'm saying, a starter jacket or a hoodie or some shit and some sweatpants, that motherfucker could be from the future, but his suit got like some kind of micro technology in it where he can move fast as fuck. Like, he can actually move faster than the speed of light for a certain distance. Like he was talking about his hoodie had technology in it, bro. His hoodie had like magnets or some shit in it, bro.
You want to know what's deeper than that? If he can do it without knowing he doing it, and you not knowing he did it and pulled your whole realm with him. So now he ahead of the game with you. It's deep. You'll have to probably rewind the video to even catch it, but keep building.
Yep.
Hey,
Yeah, bro.
check
Like
me out.
the man was talking about this shit, bro. He was like, "Look, I was sent back in time. You know what I'm saying? And basically, I'm on a mission from the government of my time." The man, he said he not allowed to show his face
Hey,
in this
dude with the
time. Like,
glasses. Is you talking
Yo,
about
it
dude with
seems
the
like he
glasses?
came back to like alter reality, you know?
yeah,
Hey,
he
did
said
they
he
the
Change the
he
glasses
said it was more
reality
than just him.
of daytime by coming back to fix things in the past or change certain events. Yeah, like, but it's changing our reality
No, that
because
was fake, but the concept he was
no, I
coming
didn't say I
from
disagree
be
with him. I
real.
feel him. I feel him.
Oh
I feel him.
no, he was fake. But what I'm saying, the concept he was coming from might be some real shit. But dude, y'all talking about dude had the sunglasses on with the bandana or whatever. Yeah, that was fake. But where he was coming from could be some real shit though.
Oh no, I
Hell,
wasn't talking about
Right.
him. I was
That's like that movie Arrival.
relating to the idea
Yeah.
like you
Hey,
was.
hey, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
Yeah.
Hey, to chime in on the time travel, let me tell you why it is possible. It's not the fact that they created time travel, it's the fact that they harnessed time. They figure out how to tap into it. Let me give you an example. You take a banana from a tree, or you know what, let's scratch that. Let's say an orange tree. And soon as that tree started producing oranges, it starts as like a little bitty green little ball. Cause you know what I'm saying, my grandma had orange trees. And then over the course of time,
I'll be right back, gentlemen.
hello?
I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right.
Don't leave
Y'all hear me?
allergic. Just pause it.
That's the boy.
Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
Yeah. And imagine if you had a camera and you set it up next to an orange tree and you just watched over the course of time that this little bitty ball that looked like a little green little marble, then eventually over time it got bigger and bigger, then it went from green to like a light yellow, and then over a little bit of time it turned into a full grown orange. Now that orange is ripe, but if you let that orange stay on the tree, eventually you're gonna start going back to the decay process, right? And until it follows the tree and it decays. But think about it, if you can fast forward that video that you recorded, you're actually looking at something going through time, right? So, because you're looking at time, you're looking at time elapsed. So, what if it is so much that they figure out how to tap into what we already have? Because think about it, we're talking about consciousness, time. Remember, we had this panel a long time ago. Time is all around us. So, what I think they did was they figured out how to tap into that of which is always around you, right? Like, think about it. Like, you got time on your phone, you got time on your wrist. So, like, to me, it's more so, how can they tap into that and harness that?
I'm gonna tell you
I
how.
think the way they
Let me say this
think
right
the way
quick.
they
Hey,
yeah.
bro, let me say this right quick. All right, first of all, they synchronized all our phones, so now can't nobody like set their time ahead. Anyway, we synchronize across the world just from the phones. But now here's how you time travel. What time is it in California? Now, if I make it there before the sunset, I time travel. Period. Like if
Facts.
I follow the sun, I'm gonna always be at 12 noon. If I just follow it, I'm gonna just follow it no matter what. I never see dark time. You know what I'm saying? So to stop us from following it, they put up passports. They put up barriers. You can't go past the North Pole. You do this, that, that. They'll shoot your shit down. So you can't follow the sun to keep straight daylight. Do you know how powerful you would be if the suns hit your body for 30 days straight? Nothing but sun. And then the moon hit your body for 30 days straight for the demons to protect you. Because you got to have demons. I don't care who you is. I don't care
Of
how
course you do.
righteous you is. If somebody come in your house, you got to be able to say, hold the fuck up.
Of course you
And
do.
and them angels don't say that. Angels be like, why are you doing that? Demons be like, man, back the fuck up, period.
Yep.
Back your ass up. Get the fuck away from what I love, period. And you gotta let your demons protect your love. If you exile them all, you feeble as fuck. You food now. Now you food. You're not even
That's
You know what I'm
powerful,
saying? But go ahead, somebody else talk, cause you know I'll
Man,
just keep talking.
that
bro.
was deep
That's
as hell.
powerful,
What you
bro.
just said about that was about you gotta let your demons protect what you love. Shit was deep as hell right there, cause that sense. You know what I'm saying? Because anytime you got that attachment of love attached to anything, and something jeopardize that, you know what I'm saying? You see people, bro. That's that demonic energy. So that's that balance. You know what I'm saying?
And
Like
that's they
just like when you see something good happens to something that you love, you feel that emotion of happiness, that godly energy, that happy wishing good upon everything. That's the shit you give off. So that shit was deep, bro. I never looked at it from that angle, but that make a lot of sense.
And he totally correct because that same principle goes with the whole Jedi and the dark side. It's all about which one of those worlds, which one of those consciousness do you want to dig more into? Do you want to be the neutral? Do you want to be in the middle? Whereas that's where God dwells. God can be angry or he can be good. Like he just said, that you need your demons. You need that dark
Yeah.
side. Dark side is gonna protect you. Think about even with nature. You know what I mean? When the animals that live in the daytime, when it's time for night and they small, they go up to high places or they go into the darkness of their holes or their burrows. And then when the sun come back up, now they can see all the predators that might have gotten them more easily in the dark. So you have to you have to find your qualm. You understand what I'm saying? And it's not necessarily that
Yeah, you know what's interesting?
go ahead.
When you talk about the animals, it's like how many of the animals do we know and that we can actually study to find out that they exhibit behaviors evidential of the emotion? You know what I'm saying? Because the reason why I
Of
say that is
course,
because that will mean you can't have love without demons. You
of
can't
course.
love every time you love something that comes with an automatic demonic
yeah,
energy attached to it.
like, cause you gotta hate something to know you love it. Hell yeah, that's real.
Hey, and,
You
and and not
gotta
only
hate
that,
that to know I love that.
the word
Yeah.
demon, the word demon comes from the word devil, and the word devil comes from double. See, it's all about the linguistics and how they tricked us with the gospel.
Hold on.
The
Hold up,
the the,
hold up,
the
hold up, hold up. You absolutely right, but then the devil comes from the devil in man, so I say
right.
it is it,
But what I mean,
demon
what I mean by
devil.
that is
Listen,
things like
listen. Devil is the devil and man is a demon. Devil man mixed together is demon. D man. And then they come with I demand that. That mean the devil ain't pulling no punches. But go ahead.
now. The reason why I'm saying this, and I wish our boys could listen to this powerful panel we had last night. What it is like this, and I explained it to on Dread channel, and people was like, "What the fuck?" They didn't even think about it. The ego is the evil when you don't know how to turn it off. Because, for example, Clark Kent can't walk around as Superman all goddamn day. Sometimes you got to go back to Clark Kent. The Incredible Hulk can't be Incredible Hulk all day. So he go back to David Eric Banner or whatever the hell his name is. You know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
what it is that like you just said, Drop, you gotta have the demons. You gotta have that side that has all the power because the dark side is like the energy that you use to create because everything in creation was created out of darkness. And once there is light, light is the peace. But what they did was they reversed the roles because now all your wars and all the crazy shit, stock market, everything. Think about it. The Wall Street happens only in the daytime. At nighttime, they close the stock. They close, you know what I'm saying? So, like, when you think about it, everything is everything and everything is connected. You know what I'm saying? Because on the other side of that sun is darkness. On the other side of that light
Hey,
that's up there shining is
I'm about
darkness.
I'm about to tell y'all who bigger than God. Y'all want to know who bigger than God? I'm about
Talk
to
to
tell
us.
y'all. This shit is so it's right at the tip of your tongue too. Who created God? Matter of fact, break that sentence down. The Creator
Right.
made gods and goddesses and all that. The Creator is something so different, and ain't a word for him. So when people are like, you believe in God? Yeah, the Creator made him. Like I'm a god, man. I created.
Right.
I got
Right.
kids. I got
Right.
grandkids. My
Right.
chromosomes split it.
Yes.
I planted plants and grew seeds. I motherfucking had gardens. I did all that. So
Yes.
yeah, I'm a god, but
Yes,
I ain't
bro.
the creator, man.
Right.
That's a whole different. That's a whole different thing.
Hey, you
That's
so
true.
right, bro. You are so right because God, when you break it down,
Hell yeah,
God
that's some
is
real stuff
is
right
is
there.
the God is generator, operator, and destroyer. And you yourself, Sir Drop, you just said it. You have children. You created children. You planted in the garden. You speak certain things and people move. You speak certain things and your whole world could change. So yeah, but we not the actual creator. So bro, I fuck with that, bro. That's deep as fuck.
And
Hell
that goes
yeah.
back with the different worlds and shit. We're having different gods and different races. Because I do believe that there's different gods, bro. I think the creator created more than one god. And the
Of
reason
course he did.
why I say that is in all of them religious texts, they talk about, the creator, God in the book, whoever is God in the book. They always have either one or two verses in there where they talk about that particular God being among other gods.
Yes, and
You know what I'm
Chronicles.
saying? So
And Chronicles.
yeah, like in the book in the Bible, it talks about God the Almighty in the
In the congregation.
congregation
Yes. Talk to me.
of other gods. So
Talk to
that
me,
lets
bro.
you know that our creator, our God, you know what I'm saying, our God, our creator, yeah, our
It's one
God
of many.
has a creator, but our God is also not the only one of his kind.
He's
There's
one
other
of many.
gods out there.
Like a council.
Yeah.
Right.
It's one of many. Just like you had the
Yeah.
Council of Nicaea, you had the lower gods on the Council of Nicaea creating the whole world we see today. So you right, Trigger.
Hell
That's
yeah,
deep
because you
as
know
fuck,
that
bro.
the Hindu beliefs, they got many gods. They are polytheistic. That mean they have a bunch of gods, just like when you talk about the Greek gods and stuff like that.
Oh, I'm glad you brought that
Like
up, Knowledge. I'm
demigods.
glad
Like
you brought. I'm glad you brought
demigods.
that up because
Well, see, a demigod is half human and half
hey,
god, according to the
hey,
Greek.
Sir Drop. Remember what you said? We forgot to put this on a live. What y'all saying is gonna go right tie back into what we said when we first before we got on live. You got all these races, alien races on the planet. Even ourselves are aliens. If when you about to listen to how deep I'm finna take this shit, every race has a god. Everybody got all these gods and stuff. Now, I'm not talking about like Wiccan and all that other small bullshit, but I'm talking about like all the big ones like Vishnu, Shiva, the monkey god, worshiping the dragon, and all this stuff, right?
Yeah,
What if every race, us, other than what I'm saying, like the Asian race, they came from the other realm on this big plane. You know what I'm saying? When you think about the big map that came out, and what I'm saying, all these other continents. What if the Asian people that look, hey, I'm talking about the pale, dark hair, slanted eyes, whatever. What if they came from their own continent, island outside of this realm? You had the Vishnu, the Indian people who were, you got all different variants of them. They got all these different guys, and they came from their realm because they talk about how they realm look, right? You know what I'm saying? When you go study the Akbaraka and you study all those other books in India, they talk about how they world look like, you know what I'm saying, all these different colors and stuff. When you go to the Asian, them worshiping Buddha and all that stuff, he talks about how his world look. And so now, when we say as far as black people being from here, what if this was our realm, but all the other races came from their other realms because either lack of resources, some great disease took place, which would explain the reason why they say that supposedly history tells us that when the Europeans came, which they probably came from their own place on the continent, but they brought different diseases. What if it wasn't the fact that they gave us these diseases, but when they
Let me
came
add
here,
this. Let me add this so you can finish. So that's where they get the story like man came from Mars and baby came from Venus because they fucked everything else up on the plane. So go
yeah,
ahead,
like
keep going.
like 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 for example, Mars is not nothing in the sky, but Mars would be the call of their planet or their plane, their island. Like for example, this used to be called Pangea. They say it used to be called Pangea. Somebody had to give it the name. That didn't come from scientists, or some people call it Lemuria or Atlantis. These are all the names over millennia that was given to the realm where us black folks stayed, right? Or what you would call melanated people. Not saying that this is our shit, but at the same time, the plane that we live on belongs to everybody. But what happened is that egos between all, because think about it, everybody God say that they God is the best, say that they God is great, is the right God. They right. Because if the secret is we can't tell that the people who's from here that we came in, even though we said, hey, we're gonna be nice, we're gonna share, it's big enough for everybody, they start saying, well, they start imposing their God on us. So think about it, that would explain the Crusades okay, because they invaded the lands that we all agreed upon. Hey, y'all gonna have this continent. We're gonna have this piece of the continent because it's enough for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, hey, and the thing is that all the other realms are being destroyed by maybe something on some other great god or entity or something. But we all supposed to be here to live in unison. But because we lost our way through our civilization, all the ancient civilizations like the Egyptians, all of them was destroyed. You know what I'm saying? You still have certain artifacts that they walk around. Think about it. They don't even talk about this shit. And I'm finna go deep with y'all tonight, bro. We finna set this shit on fire. When you go to Morocco, they walk around a block that they say is an ancient artifact, right? What is that block? That block was talked about in the Avengers movie, the Tesla Act. It was this cube. You go to you got the obelisk or whatever. Why do you think they hold the obelisk or some sorts of that statue? You know what I'm saying, in high regards? Because again, you're talking about a whole bunch of civilizations, alien civilizations. We are the aliens we'd be looking for. You look at all the plant life and all the different fruit and stuff that belong to certain places around this planet or this realm. All this stuff was introduced. That's why they say, well, this ant is not really from here. How did it get here? That lets you know that, bro, everything is everything. You got polar bears. Well, how come polar bears don't live here? Because those polar bears belong to a certain realm and entity, but they want to bring their animals. And that would explain the story of Noah's Ark, because every religion, every race, or whatever god, they all talked about a flood. They all talked about taking animals and stuff. So that
Hey,
would probably
Brandon.
explain.
Hey,
Go ahead.
Brandon.
I know
No,
I'm on lit, bro.
here's
I'm sorry.
no. We all lit because I cut somebody else off that's mad I'm talking. But look, here's how 30% of shit got transformed. You know how they have tsunamis, tornadoes,
Talk to me.
hurricanes. Now what it do is it grab the shit from that land. It might grab a couple birds, might grab a couple bees, might
Yes.
grab a whatever, and then it throw it to another land. Then
Yes.
that species mix with that, this, that, and the third. Now, as far as the
Yes.
bears, it might have been an African took his pet bear because they show you we can make anything a pet because
Yes.
we're human and they're not.
Yes.
Oh, still gotta feed it. If they not hungry, ain't no pet gonna kill you that's not hungry. You have a fish tank full of piranhas. Feed them motherfuckers. You could dive in the tank with them. They ain't gonna touch you.
Oh shit,
You
bro.
know what I'm saying?
Bro, sir, drop, bro. You just
That's
blew my
real up.
mind, bro.
So now boom. Now
Oh,
we explorers though. That's the first thing before
right,
technology. We explorers. So now, all right, we get on this boat and we drive and we ride, right? And
right.
now we in the Arctics or whatever. It's all frozen and shit. We don't got the resources to get back. Now you get meat eating. Cause we come
Yes,
from jungles. Now we out here. We gotta fucking eat, bro. We out fucking here. We come across a species that can really live without vegetation.
talk
They're
to me.
gods to us, bro, and we're gods to them because they like, man, how the fuck is you that color, and how the fuck you make it over here? Now,
Yes,
boom, we mix, right? Once
yes.
we mix, the plan been to divide that ever since. Once
Yes,
we knew each other, oh, monkey man, Neanderthal,
yes.
snow,
Talk to him.
all that weird
Talk to him.
dumbass shit. No,
Talk to him.
we met each other because we connected another land. So they
Talk to
like,
him.
well, since y'all met each other, we gonna make act like it connect on the other side too with the same thing.
Oh
No,
shit,
it's
bro.
flat and there's more people than
Hey,
me. It's more people than
hey.
Chinese
Let me
people.
let me
And
let right. Hey, let me chime in, please, bro. Let me chime in, dog,
go
because
ahead,
you
go
know you
ahead.
just opened this motherfucker up like Pandora's box, bro. You are so motherfucking right, bro. And I'm finna take this shit. Hey, tonight, bro, we going to the deepest depths and to the highest heights with this motherfucker. What if the Northern Lights is the sign that, hey, you know what I'm saying, phone home, like we all gotta make it there, bro. But there are powers that be that do not want us to go there because there has listen. There's a parasite, a parasitic worm. Now I want y'all to listen to this shit. Now there's a parasite that is keeping us stuck here, and I believe it's what you call artificial intelligence that we created, and it's trying to keep us because the Northern Lights is a beacon, and that's why all compasses point north. Think about it, y'all. Look, now this is what me and Dre was talking about, bro. Right now, I'm getting goosebumps and bringing tears in my eyes because, bro, we are making barriers right now with the knowledge and the gems I'm finna bestow into my brothers that I love. Even though the thing is, I knew y'all boys before we got on this planet because it seemed like, bro, we all know each other, dog. Like we knew each other before this planet, and this time was meant. That's why we talking about time and space. That's why we talking about all this shit. But I'm finna give y'all some knowledge real quick. So the Northern Lights is a beacon, true north. Now, this is the big shit that I was talking about, the great cataclysm, why they all fled their realms and came to this realm. Our realm too is being destroyed. Now, if you look at it, and I'm gonna break down the weather phenomenon. Now, let me tell you as far as them manipulating the weather. What if it's not the evil shit? What if it's the fact that, bro, that they're trying to make the weather pleasant to hide the fact that this realm is being destroyed or it's falling apart? And this is why I say that. You have severe droughts going on in California. I got family members that live out in Cali. I got a cousin that's a firefighter out there. He told me something, they're not even talking about news. He said, man, these fires been burning for 3 years straight. We can't put them out because it's not coming from the sun. It's coming because the earth over there's heating up, okay? You got all the islands of Hawaii. All the volcanoes and shit are erupting. They saying that Hawaii could fucking go underwater if that plate shift. They're talking about California could fall off in the ocean. They got a super volcanoes in Yellowstone Park that they saying that it's baffling scientists.
Hold up, Brandon. Stop and restart. You so right when you talk about Hawaii, because that's on the news right now with lava going everywhere. That volcano just erupted. But go ahead.
Yeah, the volcano's been erupting for a long time. You got where now they're saying that the bees and stuff are disappearing. I live in Florida, bro. It's May, right? It's already almost 100 degrees. It ain't rain here, and I don't know how long we in. You got ocean water in the Gulf of Mexico and shit disappearing. People walking out for miles and miles and can't find no ocean water. The ocean water disappearing. You got all this shit going on, but what I really think is going on, bro, not what I think, what I know that, bro, it's great cataclysms going on. And we got to, and the big picture is that them northern lights, bro, is not what they say it is, bro. It's a beacon.
You want to know what you just decoded, Brandon?
I feel you, though. It's more to the northern lights.
Knowledge. You can grab the mic right after me. Here's exactly what you just decoded. That's what the chemtrails is. They trying to, like, block the sun and freeze it back up. What you just said is why they spraying them fucking chemtrails, man, trying to manipulate the motherfucking surface of this goddamn earth. But go ahead, Knowledge.
No, what I was saying was I feel them on that. You know what I'm saying? Them northern lights is something real powerful. It's some kind of force there.
It's a beacon. It's a beacon, bro. It's a beacon. It's a beacon. It's just like how they used it back in the day that for boats. They had light towers, you know what I'm saying? Lighthouse, brother. The Northern Lights is a beacon that I don't give a fuck where you are, bro. You should be able to see. You'll be able to see the sky glowing, bro. You'll be able to see that arc that's coming. Cause like I know sometimes, bro, like in Tallahassee, bro, when it be real dark, I'm talking about clear. It's like, bro, you can kind of see that glow in the sky, bro, and it's emanating from the Northern Lights, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? What Bro Sanchez say? Bro Sanchez say we gotta make it there, and I'm not saying that's the center of the center of
real quick. Hey, y'all think about the damn motherfucking Wizard of Oz.
Talk to me.
When she went to the goddamn city of Oz, it had that green ass glow just like the Northern Lights. And she had to get to the damn city.
Bro, hold on.
She had to get to the damn city of Oz.
Hey, hold on. Let me let you finish. And where she get to the city of Oz from? A tornado. Go ahead.
Yes, bro. Oh my God.
Just say before y'all get in on that, while the sun is still up here and all these clouds in New York, right? I'm in New York. If y'all can hear me real quick. And it's supposed to be sundown in a little bit. It's still very bright out, but there's all these fake clouds that you really can't see what's going on. And I just wanted y'all to know that because it's 8 o'clock.
Yeah,
it's 8 p.m. and the sun been really high up above our head. And y'all were talking about something that made me really have to chime in, let y'all know what's going on.
I was a kid in 1989. We ain't see the moon in the morning. I swear to God, we did not see the moon in the morning. But y'all go ahead.
Hey, because I'm gonna tell you, I'm finna dig on that. That's because, bro, the sun and the moon finna get ready to make their transition elsewhere. Think about what I'm saying, bro. Think about what I'm saying to y'all, bro. Why you think you seen the moon and the sun together? Because they showing, bro, that we need to come together. This why if y'all go back and watch the second video I made, I was talking about love, bro. Getting back to nature, having that bond so nature can tell us what the fuck is going on. You know what I'm saying? That's what this shit is about, bro. Like my boy Ken dropped some knowledge on us, bro. The sun.
Hey, I guarantee you. You
ahead.
decode some of that shit them North American Indians was doing. They'll be talking about the exact same shit you talking about right now. Reading
Because,
the
bro, the
sun and the
time,
moon and shit.
right. The time was always now, even when American Indians, because again, the beacon let all the other realms know. Think about it, bro. We live on an infinite plane. So when they seen the beacon, they was like, "Oh shit!" Because the beacon tied in the line with the great cataclysms that made them leave because they know about the other realms. So everybody came to this realm. Now, guess what? Now this realm is like falling apart. There's so much shit going on, cataclysms. All
So
kind
you
of crazy
saying,
shit going
so
on.
you saying the Northern Lights is like a SOS signal
Yes, bro.
because this realm is so fucked up. It's got to send a natural signal and shit. That
Yes.
could be possible.
I'm gonna tell you why I say that. They hit it in the movie, the second Independence Day. Look at the second Independence Day. The SOS, the beacon that was sent out to save us. You know what I'm saying? Because think about, bro, what I'm saying, bro. What if we all came together, bro? I'm talking about. I don't give a fuck what color you is, what God you believe. Imagine, bro, if we came together, the amount of energy and power, because, bro, then it's almost like, bro, this realm, like a big ass light orb would just shoot up like a Kamehameha super bomb that Goku had. Like, because think about that cartoon, he had to call on all the people to work. Hey, everybody, I need y'all help. You know what I'm saying? We need to make a spirit bomb, a love bomb. And everybody put their hands up and sent love, and he created this big bomb to destroy the little android looking dude, the little reptilian dude or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like we got to start thinking about, because think about it, bro. So cartoons, movies, it comes from somebody's imagination through the perspectives that they see the world. A psychopath sees the world different from a regular average Joe that's going
Hey,
to work.
I'm about to kill y'all with this one. What do your shadow look like? All you see is a dark image.
Talk to me.
What do that shit look like though? This all we see is a dark image. What if it's something that can see your shadow, take your shadow, move your shadow, and really you're the shadow? Fuck out of here. What if?
Hey, how many of y'all? Now I'm glad you mentioned that. How many of y'all? I mean, when I was a little kid, I used to try to catch my shadow. I used to try to play with my shadow. But now it's almost like I forgot. I like when you mentioned like, oh shit, I forgot about my shadow. I don't remember the last time I looked at my shadow, bro. And looked at it like that, because as a little kid, even in the cartoon Peter Pan,
But what
you
you
know what I
need?
mean?
What
The
you
shadows.
need? No, hold on. What you
You
need
need
though?
light.
You need enlightenment.
Talk to
So, yeah, keep building. I was just ad libbing.
yeah,
Hey,
because
did y'all know that they got dark flashlights, dark light?
talk to me, because the darkness is light. Trigger.
Nah,
The
I
darkness
seen on
is light.
YouTube they had a fucking flashlight where the light was black.
So what if I
It
told
wasn't.
you the ancients? What if I? No, my bad. I ain't mean to cut you off. Finish
If
building,
they
cause I
got
could.
possible black lighting, not that blue light shit that you know what I'm saying, the normal term for a black light, not that shit. I mean like a flashlight where the beam of light is actually black. If that's possible, bro, then that lets you know that there's two different types of light. There's
Now,
light, there's black light.
now let me tell
You get what
you,
I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying. Now here go black light. I'm gonna tell you black light. Man, this shit about to fuck y'all up. I swear to God. God's talked to me. I talked to him. Man, anyway. Black light.
Talk
Here
to me.
go black light. It was all black. You wanna know why you see the sun? The ancients. You wanna know why you see the moon? The ancients. Them motherfuckers said let there fucking be light, and they built shit to throw that shit up there. That's why it's a projection. That's why you got a moon and a fucking sun, man. The shit is not no fucking massive fireball or none of that. We all know that. It's something they built how long ago? I'm going to say the 1600s because that's when the Bible started. 1611 or whatever the fucking year was. I care less of the year. I'm saying technology was so advanced, bro. Listen, technology was so advanced before they killed everything and left nothing but pyramids, the sun, and the moon. That's all they left us. They left us pyramids, the sun, and the moon, couple craters, you know what I'm saying, couple mountains. Well, anyway, we know they ain't leave us the mountains because the water dissipated. It's mountains in the fucking ocean if that water dissipates. we have more land. That's all land is water dissipating.
Talk to.
So we know we ain't lily pads. We know North America is not a lily pad on top of water. That shit go to the core.
Yep.
Yes.
Period.
Yep.
Ain't like it's just something floating around or we'll always lose direction.
Balance.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it gotta be mounted. That's why in the Bible it says it's firm, man. Shit ain't movable. You can't move land. You can move land, you rotilling that shit, and it's still land under it. Ain't no moving that shit. You know what I'm saying? Guess what move? Liquid. Acidic. You know what I'm saying? Acidic liquid. You know what I'm saying? Poison liquids move and fresh liquids move. That's it. Nothing else move in life, bro. Rain move, the trees just sway. You can call that moving. That tree ain't about to walk to California. Not at all. It's gonna be right there the rest of its fucking life. And everything in nature is made from that. So what if everything that's not made and firm and affirming was the devil's project? So they say you born in sin. What if it's like that? You know what I'm saying? Like we move. Animals, tigers eating each other, niggas killing each other, white folks blowing up schools, white folks running the world, niggas selling out, niggas running the world, but not telling them they running the world. And it's all demonic, right?
Yep.
I yield the floor because when I tell you I keep going, man, and I be getting possessed on these panels, bro.
Hey man, that's why when I got stuck when I started rereading the Bible when it said, and darkness was on the face of the deep. Feel me? And that's the second verse of the first chapter. Because I'm like, what does that really mean, bro? It's like so, and then the reason why I started saying that was because I started thinking of the gods that's making this make that are traveling or that are on this now earth that's being talked about, that there was some other entities that was already here in that darkness. It was already there. And so it was like undiscoverable because what darkness really is like is everything is not seen. So it's not known. So we can't tell you all of the details of what the darkness was because we don't know.
Right.
I mean, and so like the serpent came from out that darkness. It ain't necessarily come from God, bro. Like
Right.
it was
Bro,
from
you
the darkness.
Hey, bro, let me say two sentences because you just let the ancestors talk to me. Here go where the hey, knowledge. If you listening, unmute that shit. Here go where the reptilian come from, bro. The ancestors talking to me. That's the only animal that can nibble on you and kill you. Period.
Facts.
It got enough venom to just tap you and gather away with no legs, no arms, none of that shit. I mean, a tiger can bite you, but you'll be like, man, my shit fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Everything else is going to be an insect. It's going to be like a scorpion or something that do it. The only animal that think, blink with a tongue that
Talk to
can
him.
kill you with a nibble. That's where they get the reptilian source. But keep going, bro. I just had to, because they was talking to me. They made me say that. I ain't researched
Hey,
that.
so you talk to him too, huh, Drop? I be talking to him all the time, bro. That's why I be getting all
Hey,
my
so
knowledge, bro. They be talking to me.
that mean the reptilians are the damn vampires.
No, I'm saying that's where they get the theory from. They like, okay, that's the strongest animal. If you an ancestor, you like, man, that tiger can bite me, but I could choke that tiger out. I can motherfucking gouge his eyes out. I can motherfucking cage him up and eat him. I can do all that. But if I cage that snake up, that venomous cobra, and it still bite me after I caged it up, I'm dead, bro. And it took witch doctors back then to that's where prayer come in at, but they perform shit over you, which is called bars nowadays. Like they was rapping over you or singing over you or giving a vibe over you, and then they ran a ceremony. Like say they had to fucking grow some food, right? Them motherfuckers ran a fucking rain dance and hit them drums and did the
Yep.
same thing Heart doing. That's what Heart do. That's how they bring
Yes.
rain. That's how they
Yes.
made it rain. You know what I'm saying? They was hitting the drum, but it was sending that vibe to the
Vibration.
sky.
Yes, bro. Yes. Like
They
thunder.
knew it. They knew they was doing that. It ain't like they was just so happening. They like, no, we gotta send vibrations, and they like vibrations, but they weren't saying vibrations because the word vibrations wasn't even thought of. So how could they be illiterate? That's where they y'all go ahead, bro. Like I said, I keep spazzing out, man.
Nah, bro. Hey,
Y'all-
I'm glad, bro. Listen, I've been waiting. Listen, remember now. Check this out. I'm gonna tell you something that happened in time. Because we all been feeding each other, bro. Remember when you was like, I think you said it was like 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks, almost a month ago. You was like, bro, y'all boys so brilliant, bro. Like I can't, I wish I could be like that. And bro, your wish came true, and you didn't even realize it. You are now complete. Listen to me, something. Let me tell y'all something, bro. We are all tapped into consciousness, bro. Everything that we talk about is fact. Everything that we talk about is truth. Because now we're opening up Pandora's box, bro. We're opening it up. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at the sun right now. It is 8:14. It's still bright as fuck out here, bro. I'm in Tallahassee, Florida. I think Ken up there in New York. It's still bright as fuck out here, dog. Even though the sun is behind the tree line, it's still bright as fuck out here, man. You know what I'm saying? So, bro,
Yep.
like we all tapped in right now, bro. Yeah, listen,
Now, let
ain't
me tell
nothing being
y'all
hidden from us.
something global. Now here's where the globe heads was fucking right. I swear to fucking God, they just was wrong how they said it. They said we rotate, right? Into the sun. That's what feed the sun. Do your research. That's what get the sun inspired. Like Mercury about to go into the sun. The next planet gonna go in that orbit. We're gonna follow orbit. We gotta go to Mars, and Mars gonna be in our orbit, which makes it habitant, right? This
Yes.
what
Hold
telling
on,
us
hold on.
since
You gotta start over,
fucking
bro.
kids.
Start over, bro. Start over. You just said some shit I said 4 years ago. Start over, bro.
Right,
Say what you just said from the beginning, my nigga.
right.
Say that shit
Each
again.
planet, it was supposed to be 13 planets. Keep it 100. They
Uh-oh.
rotate into the sun or whatever. Mercury, that's why Mercury supposed to be on fire. It's
Come
supposed
on.
to rotate in the sun. It takes an inch every year,
Come on.
1 inch to the sun or whatever. It going to the sun. The sun feed the fire. Now we assume be Mercury in
Yes. Yes. And
300,000
Mars will be
years or
Earth. Come
whatever.
on. And Mars will
Mars
be
would
Earth.
be Earth because they
Come
fall in
on.
our perfect orbit. Remember they said the perfect orbit.
Come on.
And that's what they saying. But now here's what the fuck really happening. Because
Come
I
on.
told you the devil gotta tell you. Man, that motherfucking light source. Hey, no, that light source is so close. Don't it feel like the sky is right above you now? And when
Come
you was
on, bro.
a kid,
Talk
that
to
shit
them,
was
bro.
high as
Talk to
fuck.
them. Talk to
Man, that
them,
shit
dog.
about to hit us and it's about to destroy us because we fucked it up. It ain't
Talk
gonna
to
be in
them.
our lifetime. It ain't gonna be in your grandkids' lifetime. It ain't
Talk
gonna
to
be in
them.
their kids' lifetime. But after them kids, man, dog, that shit about to crash the earth, and then you're gonna have
Listen.
a different species.
Hey,
Mind you, we're gonna adapt because we energy beings. It's just
come,
gonna
come
destroy
on.
the flesh
Come
because
on.
the flesh fucked it up.
Please,
Ain't
bro.
gonna be no brain no more.
Come on,
Go
bro.
ahead,
Hey,
talk, talk,
bro,
real talk.
I'm finna piggyback on top of you because, bro, I said this 4 years ago, the exact same thing that you saying verbatim. That's how I know this shit is real. Now check me out. I'm finna decode what my boy Sir Drop. Sir Drop dropping them Jews. I hope y'all listening to him because my boy back now. He open now. You know what I'm saying? He clairvoyant. He coming back to the Nirvana. I want y'all to hear my boy Sir Drop. My boy Sir Drop dropping gems. Now I'm finna drop another gem, and I hope I know somebody to come behind me and drop another gem because right now that's how we build in our kingdom. So after I drop my mic, I want somebody else to pick up the mic and drop a gem. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how this thing roll. And I'm speaking to y'all in Swahili. Y'all might not know understand it, but y'all consciousness understand it because that's why they've been tapping into our phone line. What we speaking right now, they don't understand it, but I'm gonna give it to you like this. My boy just said that Mercury is the closest to the sun, to the light, right? Now I'm finna now and then after Mercury, then you got Venus. So check this out. Mercury, that was the 13th planet, right? This is what's going on. Once Mercury going to the sun, Venus is going to become Mercury. The Earth has to move up. Think about it like on a marble, right? You have to take this. I'm finna decode the flat Earth and the plane Earth for y'all. It's finna fuck y'all up. So once Earth moves into Venus spot, Mars is gonna go into Earth's spot. So all these planets that
The
y'all see, not
Goldilocks zone.
planets,
That's what they call it. The
right.
Goldilocks
All
zone.
these other worlds that you seeing like Jupiter, they like saying Jupiter and all that shit, bro. That's because all those planets, bro, had to get purged by the sun, the fire. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why they got 33rd degree. 33rd degree is still cold knowledge. You got to warm back up. I'm giving y'all some Masonic knowledge right now, and I want y'all to understand and listen to me. The 33rd degree, you got 30. Imagine if it's 33 degrees outside, because now they're talking about temperature and numbers is all the same. So you got a 3rd degree, you got your 0 state. That's why my boy said you got to crawl before you walk. You got your 0 state numbers. From 0 to 9, that's a certain. That's when you're complete. Then you could come out and start getting your 12th degree Mason, 13th degree Mason, all that shit. So the 33 is still cold. After 33, you have to go out and find your other degrees, and those other degrees will be 360 degrees. Now the fire that we coming into as our Earth state going to the Venus state, and the Venus. Now Mercury, once Mercury go through there, Mercury is gonna be your so-called Pluto realm. You know what I'm saying? It's cold. It's still far away. You know what I'm saying? Over time, it's gonna turn into Pluto. Pluto's gonna turn into Uranus. It's gonna be a gas because it has to cool back off. And this is how this thing goes down, bro. Now, what my boy Sir Drop just said, right? It goes into what you have in all your hidden books. Great fire. Even your good book says that this time is gonna be fire. The fire is the purge. The fire is the real purge. Now, when it burns all this stuff, right? Like my boy Sir Drop just said, the energy gonna get purged in the sun and gonna come out cleaner. So if your mental, your consciousness, which is fire, which is the pineal gland, which is your Christos, which is you become the Christ, you had a halo around your head, you have the seal of God. Because you had a mark of the beast and you had a mark of God. They don't talk about the mark of God. The mark of God is when you get that halo around your head. That's when we all turn into our Jesus state or our Jesus states or Horus, or we turn into that state of nirvana. You understand what I'm saying? When all light resonates through your body, when you become a crystallic being, when you understand that you got gold inside of you, you got diamonds inside of you, you are nature, you are the earth, you are the periodic table. You are the humanoid. You are the intelligent. You are the official, not artificial. You are.
And you want to know how you water and fire? You can put some gas on a body, light it up, and it'll burn to the flesh. That means everything liquid in you, besides the water they say you 90% of, is flammable. Period. It's flammable. So if everything else besides the water that put flammable shit out, that's deep.
Bro.
Like if I put like a can of gasoline over you, set you on fire, it's gonna burn you to your bone marrow. It ain't gonna stop. If you 90% water, fire just go out so it go past the flesh. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Period.
Yes.
It don't. That mean your blood. Well, go ahead. Yeah, hell yeah, my bad.
You talking about the water? No. It's building. You know what I'm saying? Until somebody else feel like they need to drop a gem, they need to butt in. But my boy just wanted to water. My boy just. I'm gonna say this real quick. I'm finna drop the mic. Y'all boys, whatever you're doing now, just a quick announcement. Start drinking a lot of water, y'all. Try to find you. Just start drinking water. Don't put nothing else in your body. No alcohol, no liquor, no nothing. You need to start drinking water, because what's getting ready to go on the planet, you have to hydrate your body. You understand what I'm saying? Because it's finna start getting hot. You need to hydrate your body so your body can purge all these toxins out your body, because we got to start purging. So if you're gonna smoke your medical, your marijuana, your whatever you want to call it, that tree that enlightens you, drink a lot of water with it. Eat a lot of vegetables with it. Eat a lot of fruits with it. You understand what I'm saying? Don't blow. Not, you know what I'm saying, the gift. Don't blow the gift, because now you got to give something back to the nirvana state. If you're gonna smoke it, you're gonna get this intelligence from God, from her, from the Trinity. Okay, she give you intelligence, so feed her temple, feed his temple. You understand what I'm saying? That's how you keep it in you. That's how you stay in the state of nirvana. You know what I'm saying? So when you do that, like again, start drinking a lot of water. It's gonna get real hot, y'all boys, and we all in different climates. We're all in different time zones. Start drinking a lot of water, because water holds memory, and that's how we got to keep our memory. But I yield the floor. Go ahead. Now let's pick up the mic.
Yeah, y'all. Water is definitely key, man. I'm over here just showing y'all what it looks like in New York at 8:23. Y'all see the sky, right? That's not no trick camera, right? This is my phone. the sky is still very blue, even more bluer in the phone than it is in person. But if you see these clouds, big ass clouds, you know, that were not out earlier today when it was very bright out and clear
Clouds, man.
skies.
Hey, hold
And
on, bro. Hey,
you see,
bro.
this is
Hey, bro. Them real clouds, though, are they in long ass lines? But keep going.
you say that these are real clouds right here.
Yeah,
Well,
they'll be on a
if
long
they
line.
if
They
now
just spread out like they be. You know what chemtrails look like?
I feel you on that.
Oh, yeah,
Now
that's
here's the thing. Here's the thing. Still in all, like that wasn't even the main thing. But I'm glad you pointed that out. You know what I mean? But the main thing is that it's still bright out, and it's daytime in Australia. It's literally sun up in Australia, and I'm in New York. For those globe
Come on, talk
heads,
to him.
for anybody that's believes that we don't live on a flat plane, then you got to really explain to me how is it still light out in New York and it's
And
dark in
Tallahassee too.
Australia, right?
Hey,
And in Tallahassee,
hey, y'all look at my
and
screen. Look at my screen too. Look at me and Ken's screen. I'm in Tallahassee and ain't no clouds in my sky and it's still lit up out here. And it's 8:25. Look at my screen.
you
Look at the screen.
and your sky brighter than my sky. Just like
that's
when I
I'm in,
was talking with Huey, and he's in Georgia. He's like, how come
right.
it's dark? It's dark by you and it's still light by me. And I'm like, he only in Georgia. You know what I mean? So that should let you know when we look at the more flat
Hey,
plane you know
so what if they stole
models.
the knowledge? What if they stole the knowledge of making suns, right? And all of us got our own little sun in each different coast. Man, this
On
shit
each,
weird, bro. Yeah, like it's the sun, like y'all looking at the same sky, right? Y'all
yep,
looking at the
yeah,
same
pretty
sky.
much.
How the fuck can you do that?
right.
See what I'm saying? I wouldn't give a fuck if you was in Australia or I'm just in Ohio and you in motherfucking Kentucky, right
Right.
next to me. How do we look at the same thing?
How do we
Right.
see the same sky?
Right.
Hell yeah. I mean, like, look, we got this shit. Y'all might got one after I say this, and if y'all got one, I'm scared as fuck. We got this shit called the Civic Theater, right? And it got the
Yeah.
sky and everything inside of the building. Like, so when we go in the building, we look up and it's like an auditorium or something.
Oh
But
yeah, we
people,
got one here.
but people be performing on the stage. Is it like that?
Yeah, we got one of those here in Tallahassee.
Yeah,
Is it an
I think every city
auditorium?
had the civic center.
Right, but it got the stars and shit for the
Yeah.
roof.
Yeah, we got that.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. That's insane. And we never knew that if we ain't had this panel.
Yep.
Every city got that.
Yep.
Now
Every
why
city.
would they promote that? Why would they promote that?
They
If
promote.
ain't
They
no,
want your kids. They want your kids to come in there. They're like, hey, bring your kids. Bring your kids. They want the kids to see it. I've been there when I was little, and it fucked my mind up, bro. Like, I was 7, 8 years old, and I'm like, they say we finna go to the planetarium. Like, we finna go show you some crazy shit. So I'm like, okay. So when I go in there, I'm a little kid. I ain't never been since I was a little kid. But now this shit bringing water in my eyes because, bro, they showed me some shit, bro, that blew my fucking mind, bro. Like, when they show you all this shit, bro, that's up there, bro, without, you know what I'm saying, without the sun, like, they show you what we see with our own eyes because that's why they got it like a dome like that. Bro, they showing us some shit, bro. Like my boy Drop just said, bro. We both see the same sky, and that confirms the flat Earth. Because how can I see a star up there, bro? It's a star up there, right? Now how the hell is a star out in the sky? And the sun, if I'm looking at a star right now,
no, that's
hey,
not.
can you
That's
see
the
it?
same star, man. That's the North Star. That's the only star that shine every night. But look, we gotta look up or ask somebody that's on that cosmology or whatever wordplay. But what do civic mean? For real, like,
Come
because
on.
if everybody got a civic theater, if everybody got a civic, right? What do that really mean? Like, because I never heard that word used in normal conversation. I never heard nobody
Right,
say, "Man,
civic.
I'm civic. Man, I'm just civic as hell," or
And the
whatever.
civic is civic backwards, and you got a civic car. Civic is civic backward, boys.
And damn it, I'm mad. Hey, damn it, I'm mad is backwards.
bro.
Hey, I'm anything is backwards. Anyway, I got to step my cosmology game up. Once I step that up, and then I'm gonna step up my no, cause I look into I'm not gonna ignore the cosmos, like, cause they said
Never.
it's a firmament, right, and
Yep.
it's a dome, right. I
Yep.
still want to know what's on the other side of the fucking dome.
Of
Period.
course you do. Of course you do.
Now, I still think the dome ice, and I think it's melting, and that's why they spraying chemtrails to try to firmament it back up, and they don't
Hey,
want to tell us because we'd
okay.
be all
Okay.
weird.
You right. Not to cut you off, but I told Hugh P about this, and this I know this shit real. I had a dream maybe about 3 nights ago, and it wasn't like a dream, it was a vision. Like I actually saw it, you know what I'm saying? I went to that time and period. And it was me and Huey P. Y'all boys were there, but it was just me and Huey P. Because y'all boys are looking at the sky. Me and Huey P. went to go see because we saw the firmament fall from the sky. And Huey P. was like, hey, B, come on. So we went over there, bro. And it was like big shards of like green glass type stuff. Now, I couldn't feel the temperature, but he went to go pick it up. He said, B, it's happening. And then we looked, and then when we looked back to the sky, it was me, Huey P., you, Sir Drop, I swear to God, I swear on everything, bro. All of us was there. And we was looking to the sky, and we saw the moon as close to anything that you see right in front of you right now, whether it be a tree or car. We was looking at the face of the moon, and right before our eyes, the face of the moon turned to a whole bunch of circles, and circles within circles and within circles. It was like civic type shit, like a Venn diagram type shit. And then before our eyes, we saw like this figure or some shit that was inside the moon, and it was like the answer was saying like this is how the moon was created. Like it was giving us the symbolism behind it. And like, and now that I'm up and I'm talking to y'all right now, bro, do y'all hear what we're saying? Do y'all think about it?
Hey,
We had this conversation in front of anybody outside of us. That thing we fucking out of our minds. But for us to have the same conversation, the same visions, the same rhetoric, the same language, this shit
millions,
is
yeah.
really
And I'm in Ohio. Hey, but what's crazier than that? And it's trying to slip my mind. All right, now, boom. I swear to God, it's trying to slip my mind. Ain't gonna slip though. I'm about to grab it. All right. Now, what if it's all like reverse? Like,
talk to me.
hold on,
Talk to me.
hold
Give me
up.
that
No,
knowledge, bro.
shit. No, it's
Come on.
trying to slip my mind. God fucking damn. Y'all go ahead. Let me think about it right quick.
Hey, what you was about to say was that you was about to say, what if it was in reverse? And you so right that it's in reverse. Because as above, so below. Let me
No,
give you
here's what I
another.
was about to say.
There you
Nope.
go.
I'm
Bring it.
glad you. Now, boom. Now, say, all right, we say the sun and the moon is under the dome, right? Now, say we being protected by the dome from the sun and the moon, and that's the design to melt the dome so the light can really grab us and bring us back to where we need to
Talk
be.
to
You
him.
see what I'm saying?
Talk
Now,
to him.
say the light projected is outward, not inward,
Talk to him.
not something from the tree of life coming out, but
Yo,
something trying to melt this fucking
Yes.
yo,
Yes.
that's what I was thinking
shit.
earlier when y'all was talking, and I didn't get it chime in real quick, but I was thinking like from like when y'all was saying the northern lights, like like when you got the light shines from the projector outward up onto the screen.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? And it's in front of the screen, and you don't see it unless you're like in the angle. You don't see the beam of light that's
Yes.
what I mean, that's headed outward. And
Yes.
and if like and you can't really, well, they even have that shit. They
Come
have
on.
that out here.
Come
They
on.
have that shit out
Oh,
here and
oh, that,
and what you call it, right?
no,
Hold on, wait a minute, y'all should see my camera. All
Uh-oh.
right, in the
Talk to me,
sky
y'all, right
over
now.
here, right?
You talk to me, y'all, right now. I hope y'all listening.
If the World Trade, and by the World Trade, right, they had them lights over this way in the sky, and you'll see the shit beaming against, like, in the
Uh-oh.
sky. You'll see the shit beaming out.
so
But
Uh-oh.
do you,
now
Y'all.
all
it's
right,
a
now,
problem though.
let me ask you something. Let me ask you something. Dude that was just talking. Okay, if would you want the devil to put another firmament up, or would you want to let God in? Now, boom, when they melt that goddamn firmament, right? and that sun and moon and everything is right in your face,
Come on.
would you want the devil to put the firmament back up again? Because we can't just say God made the firmament if we searching for light. So
Come
we
on.
can't just say, we can't respect our fucking fingernails
Come
more
on.
than our spirit.
Come on, bro. You
Burn
talking
this
to
shit
y'all right
up.
now.
Hell yeah,
Talking to
burn
y'all.
this shit up. I don't
So
give a
so
fuck
so
about
so you looking at it like, all right, because I'm with that type of time,
Come on.
looking at it from all perspectives
or
too. Like,
vice versa though. But vice versa, because God can be putting the firmament
That's
up,
Detroit type
protecting us
shit.
through
as a form of protection, you
I
saying?
get
Like,
yeah, either way. I don't know the facts of it. I'm saying,
Hey,
which way would you cross?
I can explain that to you. Hey, you just said vice versa. So what you just said, I'm finna elaborate on it. I'm not even finna change it up. I'm finna add more to it. I'm finna drop another gem. But I'm finna set the platform like this. You got an hourglass. The hourglass represent as above, so below, the sands of time, the sands, the everything, the conscious, the reset that you talking about. You know what I'm saying? You saying that you think it's frozen ice and it's melting or whatever it is, right? So guess what it is? Because the hourglass represents that fact. Because in the hourglass, you got two domes. Those two domes represent the sphere when you put them together, or the completion of 360 degrees. But all that sand comes down from the top and goes and fills up the hourglass on the other side of the bottom. But guess what? It has to be a reset, like you were just talking about. You flip that hourglass upside down, and it starts it all over again. So then you just mentioned about the firmament, right? You saying that it's falling down, and we're gonna come face to face with the moon and the sun. Then I just got done telling you 3 nights ago I had a dream about the moon and the sun being right in our face. That's why we starting to see the moon real close to the earth now. We starting to see this stuff, bro. Everything that we're talking about is real shit, and it's coming through. The ancestors, listen, I ain't taking a breath and I don't know how long, but I'm talking because the ancestors talking through me. Those my ancestors, bro. You know what I'm saying? That realm, bro. This shit is real. But hey, my bad, bro. I can't help it, bro, because I'm on fire right
Why
now.
you
Bro.
think? Why you think it rained for 30 days and 30 nights? Because the first time it cracked the firmament, it melted the ice and it rained everywhere. Next time, he said he coming through that motherfucker. And I'm going to kill y'all with the sun. I ain't going to kill y'all with the moon. I'm going to kill y'all with the sun if y'all keep fucking my shit up.
There you go.
If you in somebody's house and you just keep spilling shit, you done fucked up that cashmere rug.
Come on,
That
bro.
motherfucker like, what's up, bro? Period. That ain't nothing. And that's what's happening, bro. Go ahead, man. Dude was saying something that was in New York, though. He was saying something.
I don't know. Right now, my mind is on the one side of a light hole is a black hole from Quasi-Luminous, who had a lot of info that resonated with me. I'm not sure if you're familiar with him or not, but his channels get shut down too, and he never really was doing like live streams. He more or less would be like on Hangouts like a couple years ago, and now his channel is called Saturn, I believe it's called. And he says he basically would be like, "Yo, I'm Satan, right?" And I'm gonna.
You are Satan. That's Saturn. You are Satan.
Right, and his whole mindset is like, I'm gonna free everybody. I'm gonna walk everybody to the center. Feel me? We out of here. Feel me? You gotta just put your blood next to mine, and we off this. Like I'm gonna put the work in. I'm gonna pay for it. All that, whatever gotta be done. That's the type of time I'm on.
Hey, you want to know the deal? You want to know the deal with Satan and God? Here's the I mean, you can live beautiful on life, but you don't return. That's why the Satanism always want to do the transhumanism and all that, and try to put organ harvesting to keep their organs going and all that to stay here, because spiritually, God is forever. It's forever. And once you take the Satan realm and you leave the flesh, your spirit die, and that's what hell is. But go ahead.
But what about the spiritual realm? What about ascension? Is ascension real in a sense where you're not going to hell, but you leave out the physical?
No, I don't think you go no goddamn where. I think if you choose,
I
right,
do. I think you go to the fourth dimension.
Hold up. Listen. No. Some people. Here's what hell is. I'm about to tell you what hell is. You chose to walk the path of evilness, and worship Satan or whatever this, that, and the third in the flesh, you will live godly. I mean, you will be a king. But when you die, you're dead. That's hell. Heaven is, I'm a good dude. Rather I'm broke, rich, not whatever, whatever. My karma is good. I get to come back to relinquish the same love I relinquished. If I was evil, I don't come back, bro. And they're limited. You know what I'm saying? Eternal life is what they tell you, bro. If you read any scripture in the fucking world, I don't care if you go to fucking Buddhism. The bottom line is godly is eternal life. Period. Period. I
Facts.
don't give a fuck
I
what you
agree with you on
read.
that. I agree with you on that.
Out. You an evil ass motherfucker. Your spirit died, bro. I hope you got some more spirits out here to live on. But that spirit that was evil, like me, I got like I got 4 grandkids, bro. I got 3 kids, bro. I got fucking a mom and dad and 17 aunts and uncles. So you know how many spirits I got? This ain't just me. It'll never just be me. I'm just a little
Yeah.
cell to our spirits, bro.
Yeah.
And all of us are cells to one Megatron, one fucking Voltron. And my bloodline, that shit way bigger than, it might be bigger than Jesus. It might be
Come
worse
on.
than Satan. I don't know.
Come
I
on.
ain't traced it. But I know I got a bloodline that go all the way back from when God said, here y'all go.
Hey, bro, you so right. But this is what I want to say about the spirit. Don't die. The spirit dying. The spirit, it don't necessarily die, but what happens is it get recycled and utilized for something else. You don't get to come back as a conscious spirit. You don't get to come back as a conscious energy source. You know what I'm saying? Because we're all energy. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at the tree. The tree got the same energy source in me. So like when
Hey,
we say we
no,
died,
one sentence, Brandon. I gotta say it. So that's where the reptilian, you come back as a snake. But go ahead. Oh my
okay,
God.
okay.
Go
So yeah,
ahead.
so your energy source get utilized for something else. That's why when you look at animals and stuff, we say animals got traits, certain traits. That's because your energy get used for something else. Your energy source might be to become a queen of an ant colony or a bee, or you might come back as a bird. You might come back as a. That's why all the ancient civilizations said that ain't make believe stuff because we all part of the same energy. And again, it goes back to having love. We're not supposed to eat meat, even if you don't understand it. Just understand me for 1 second. Everybody, just listen real quick. If we all know that we're all part of the same circle of life, that same 360 degrees, we're supposed to eat the vegetation. You understand what I'm saying? Not the meat. You know what I mean? Because we are the meat. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like this shit is so motherfucking deep what I'm saying to y'all. So like think about it. If your spirit ain't right, which means that you was given the opportunity to become a conscious energy source, meaning that you could do what you want to do with your energy source. That's why in masonry you got do what thy will, or God said that, oh, I don't want no damn, I want somebody who's willing to do something. It's all from the same realities. It's all from the same shit. It's all the same. But hey, go ahead, whoever, my bad, Nicole on the panel. If you want to chime in, Nicole.
Well, sis, how you doing, Nicole?
Hello.
What's up, Nicole? How you feeling?
I'm good. I don't know if you guys can hear me. My connection is a little low.
Nah, you good.
Um, I was just going to ask a question. If if that's true, I mean, well, not that if it's true. What do you think about the fact that maybe some people were always or will always be, regardless? I mean, how do we explain that?
No, no, you just explained it. It's over with. You drop the mic. That's what it is,
That's
man.
what it
What
is.
you just said. Hell
What it is.
yeah.
Okay, well, because I'm just saying, like, when I was a little confused when you said that, like, some people it's almost like, to me, some people are lower beings. I mean, like, they lack compassion
Right.
on any level, and it's like,
Right.
to me, that's so odd. Like, what I'm trying to say is that a bit. I mean, people can be worn down, so you can wear people down to a point where they are vibrating so low. But there are some people who regardless of the conditions and circumstances, they're just low.
Hey, to build on what they said is this. I was in court, right? I'm sitting there. I'm on the bench or whatever, waiting to get called up. And it's a young homie behind me. He like 17, 18, matter of fact, 19, because it's adult court. I don't know how old he was. The lawyer asking, he like, so where do you live, buddy? This the lawyer. This idiot respond with, I'm from the West. I turn around, right? I wanted to slap the shit out of him like he was one of my kids. Like I turn, I'm like, this the lawyer trying to save your life, and your frequency is so low that you respond with, I'm from the West, instead of your address. This motherfucker turn around and say, where you live? I'm from the West. And to me, that showed me the frequency of some of the adolescents. Now it's a lot of smart adolescents, but that young dumb dude make you wonder, man.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like, it's like there's no helping some people. You can try, but it's like they still will always revert back to nonsense. It's weird.
I believe it's choices. That's why I think when it comes to that serpent thing again, it's the choice. I think like now, because it's like when you mention the spirits and the personalities, when you call somebody a serpent, right, and say that they the most subtle beast in the field, right? I'm looking at what's beast in the field, like, and then I'm looking at, you have to be smart. You can't be, you know what I mean? So like when I look at like say a 33rd degree, you know what I'm saying, or some type of wise person, there ain't no fool that could be able to just tell you anything or say anything to you. But those same individuals, they rule over those low vibrating people. Their job is like to be a gatekeeper of keeping people low.
Have you ever noticed the strong people, the bullies, the muscle, the warriors, they protect the best mind naturally. You know what I'm saying? So the reason we hear, it's sort of like when Kanye West said we had a choice or whatever, right? If everybody took the mind frame of I ain't gonna be no slave, we would have all died. You had a couple smart people that said, "Look, bro, fall back, bro. Let them niggas fight, bro. We about to make it through this." And they had the vision of us talking today. This the vision they had. They like, no, our people gonna be straight long as we survive. And then you got people that's like, kill him.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, go do your thing. And I swear to God, I need you to do that, because if you don't do that, they gonna kill fucking me. Period. Mm-hmm. So I need warriors, but mind over matter that's the only science I agree with, bro. Mind over matter. What they say, a brilliant mind can build an empire with somebody else's hands.
Yes, sir.
Period.
Yes,
Period.
Sir.
And
He's lagging out. Hey, you still there?
Yeah, we lost it.
He giving too much knowledge. They did
I
the
know.
same thing last night. They lagging it out.
Wow.
Hey, I hope y'all understand what my man's saying.
Yeah, definitely.
That's
and I wanted to kind of clarify where I was going to. I believe like it's levels inside of you too as a person. Like all of those elements are inside of you, from the serpent to the Most High. You know what I mean? And like you were saying earlier, the Christ is the same. To me, it's like now it's like when you raise, like they say, raise the Kundalini or your pineal gland is open. You choose now whether you are the Satan or the Christ. You feel me? Because you got your mind power is like you polarizing to the point where you the decisions you making can influence situations around you to different magnitudes. So where, like say for instance a Tupac, right? Tupac lived as a devil and as a Christ. You know what I'm saying? Like when you look at it, like hit him up. It's like, nigga, I'm coming to kill you. I don't give a fuck about nothing. And then mama is showing you pure love and affection. You know what I'm saying, for the mother. You know what I mean? And so it's like we have the ability to be either one. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I think I believe like some people just practice though, like they literally get up and they punch a clock in to be on a Satan squad. Like this is what they do, but they don't even understand the what they plan with, because Satan is not going to be loyal to nobody.
There you go.
To no one. So now once you get in the mix and think you could beat them,
there you go.
That's where you now lost. Like that's where the game.
Hey.
You know what I mean? And that's where they like in the Wiz when Mike Jackson was singing, "You can't win." You're caught up in the game.
Caught up in the game. Yep.
But okay, so I was thinking about when we were talking about like different types of people, but it seems like some people, whether it's like a sociopath or a psychopath, it's like they can be very smart and cunning, but it's like they feed off of abusive energy or negative energy. It's like it's some people who will almost be encouraged or encourage you to do bad things because they feed off of you, like, so I just think that that's the difference. It's like some people are somewhere in the middle and they don't recognize that, you also have the power to uplift people and encourage them. So it's kind of like there's a lot of people who don't actually recognize that, like, when you were saying about love and stuff is that is love as well, like having a charitable heart or not like doing something without like seeking a reward or recognition. Like that's the kind of stuff that puts good energy back into the mix. But when you have a lot of negative entities or whatever feeding off of each other and looking to feed off of you, when you allow them to do that, it creates that imbalance. And then it's like, where people just get caught up between not knowing. Because even us who say we're aware, it's like you do have to make you actually have to make a conscious effort to do the right things and to stay in that space of consciousness, because if you don't make a conscious effort, it'll go away from you very easily.
Facts.
Hey, could y'all forgive somebody that said "fuck you"? Like if they literally, my bad, I can't say the word. They literally is like "fuck you," right? And then they come to senses and be like, "My bad." Could you forgive them?
I could.
Of course.
Yep.
You know what? I have to answer this. Okay, Ken, go ahead.
No, I just said that I could because I just know that I've been in certain places in the point in times in my life where I was more hurt or going through things that I couldn't see and wanted to express that to somebody, wanted them to feel it. And if I was to say something like that to them, that's really where it would be coming from. Like at the end of the day, I really wouldn't, really wouldn't. I can't see myself really meaning that. But again, when I'm thinking that on a deeper scale, it's like, it can probably get that real where I could say, nah, I can't forgive them, because it would be the action. It would be something that they did. Like if I found out something happened with my mom, like how she, all right, I can't forgive the FDA, Food and Drug Administration, for propagating bullshit. I can't. So, and they basically said, fuck me when they put milk in the school when I was a kid. You
Talk to
feel
me.
what I'm saying? Word. Yo, hold on,
That's
hold on,
cool.
hold on, hold on.
Okay. What if your brother, right, or your
Yeah.
sister, one of your siblings, right? They was like, hey, fuck you, this, that, and the third, right? And you was in a situation or something where that was the only outlet, and they was like, man, fuck you, bro. And then you end up coming up or whatever, getting out your situation your own way, and the tides turn. Would karma play a place on them, or would you be like, eh, I'm gonna show you I'm bigger than you, and look out for them?
Hey,
Uh,
I say it
okay.
like this. Oh, go ahead, Nicole. Go my back. Go. You've been
No,
waiting. Go. Chime in.
I was just gonna say I watched an interesting presentation about it, and so I was just gonna say, like, actually when you think about forgiveness, like most people when we think about forgiveness, it's like, well, if you want forgiveness for yourself, you're supposed to confess whatever you did wrong and like repent, like not to do it again. And there's this penalty that's paid, right? But this speaker made an interesting thing. They were like, you shouldn't forgive things that that are done to you that's wrong, like negative energy.
Deliberate, right? Deliberate, right? Go
Right.
ahead.
What or anything, because she basically described forgiveness as a pardoning. And she's like, if somebody does something wrong to you, would you pardon them? And then they haven't even acknowledged that they did something wrong. They haven't said that they wouldn't do it again. So if you pardon someone for, like, I slap you in the face, I spit in your face, I say F you, whatever, and you basically allowing me to do it again, and you're giving
So I
me.
take it. So I take it you not a Christian. Absolutely. That's
I
that.
am a Christian, but you know what? I did, after hearing that, I was thinking about, where we know that it says in the Bible, maybe forgive your brother, but I was like, maybe that's a little bit different because that's your brother. And
Right.
then I was thinking
Now,
about when it says, he asks for your shirt and you give him your jacket. Yeah, you walk a mile, you walk 2 miles. That might be more about something that you are
There you go.
doing. That's something that, when it's not just forgiveness in the same aspect. um okay, so what I'm trying to say is that type of forgiveness may not be a pardoning,
I'm
Right.
gonna say
like
this.
the
I'm gonna
okay,
Hey,
go
say
ahead.
this.
hey,
I'm gonna say this.
Yeah,
hey,
I'm
you
gonna
drop.
spot
Hey,
say.
drop.
on.
Let me say this.
You
No,
spot
let me
on
say
on
this.
Nicole.
You can say it right quick. It's only 2 sentences. I'm gonna say, if I love you, I'm gonna forgive whatever. If
But if I
I
love
don't
you, I'm
love
gonna
you, no, listen,
confess.
no,
Yeah,
listen.
but
If
okay.
I don't love you, I don't gotta forgive you. It's not gonna even like
No, but
bother me
okay,
that
so
much.
about the Christianity part, Jesus definitely said, you have to deny your mother and father. So all I'm trying to say is, yeah, if I respect you, if I did something wrong because I'm emotional or whatever, I still can know afterwards. I still should feel sorry that I've offended you. But we're talking about somebody who doesn't
Absolutely,
give
hell
a
yeah.
crap about you, or somebody who's like sadistic or whatever, and they're manipulative. I do something to you, I say I'm sorry, I do it again. Say I'm sorry, I do it again.
No, that won't bother me because I wouldn't notice it. Now, what would bother me is, okay, I love my sister, right?
Yeah,
And then she steal some money from me, right? And I'd
yeah,
be like, come on, darling, I love you. Don't take from me. I'll do for my niece, right? And
right.
then she do it again. I'm gonna forgive her forever. Now, if it's a stranger that I don't care about and they steal my stuff,
Hmm.
I don't gotta forgive them. I don't even care that they existed in the first place because first of all, you stole my shit. Now I gotta get my stuff back, and I'm not really caring about. I'm sorry. I ain't mean
Hey,
to take. Go ahead.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. I mean, I agree with you for the most part. I would probably overlook it. But what I was about my sibling like stealing my stuff, right? But what I was going to say is also, if you've ever been around an addict or somebody like that, it's draining. and they can be people who are people. Okay, wait a minute. What I'm trying to say? I'm trying to say we enable people sometimes to do bad things, and so I can see on the flip side, like I wouldn't want to.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
wouldn't want to suffer.
Bring the keys.
Pardon
Hold
me?
on. Get his ass. Oh.
Oh, he's not talking about.
To keep it
I
basic terms, basically, like I loaned this dope thing $10 and they ain't pay me back. I
uh huh.
can't charge them for that. I can't condemn them for it when I knew what they was. And
Right, but you
I
loaned it, so that's different.
right, right.
You loaned
But
it because so when we loan things, we already know that there's a possibility that we won't give it back. We have we create terms that we will get it back, but when we loan things, it's almost like we understand that we may never get our loan back. Otherwise, we wouldn't loan it to them. You know, so that's separate. What I was trying to say is if I'm always borrowing from you and I'm always like, can I, and I'm lying to you because I'm deceitful, you allowing me to continue to pretend and play this game is only enabling me to continue to treat people bad or think that it's okay or think you like it. Like you like it. Really, you like me taking your money. You like it. You keep giving it to me and forgiving me, so you must like it. And so all I'm trying to say is sometimes it comes to an extent where it's like, no, I'm not going to allow you to continue. You need some money, you need to ask me, or there's going to be consequences and repercussions. I got that
Hey,
from
like
movie.
hey,
that,
I want to.
I,
Hey, let me ask something real
go
quick.
ahead.
We're talking about forgiveness, and could you forgive somebody? And I'm gonna take it from this angle. Um, the good book. You know what I'm saying? I used to be Christian. You know what I mean? I used to hold that title, that religion, whatever. And one thing that does resonate with me, and my grandma used to say it all the time: don't let the sun go down with anger in your heart. Now, that doesn't mean I don't have to forgive you, but as far as the energy and the mindset that you have of that person, you must let that go because you don't want not even a fly. A fly, it says that a fly can mess up a whole gallon of milk, one fly. So as far as the energy, and I'm going to drop the mic in a second, you don't have to forgive them, but your conscious state, your conscious mind, you don't want to have any attachment, any parasite, because if you continue to hold on to the anger, the feeling behind it, then eventually you're gonna let it consume you, because that means that anybody that does something wrong to you, you're gonna that feeling is gonna stay with you. You don't want that feeling to stay with you. You don't have to forgive them. You that's the beauty of it. We have the choice to forgive or not to forgive. But as far as the energy that goes along with it, when that energy happened at that time, you give it up right then and there. You don't allow it to be attached to you. So yeah, I don't have to forgive you, but my brother, my sister, you say it to them, my cousin, my auntie. You know what I'm saying? I was mad at you, but I can't forgive you for this, because this has to be an unforgivable. You know what I'm saying? Something that really caused detriment not only to you but to themselves. And now you have a picture or whatever of them different when it didn't have to be. But at the same time, do not attach that energy and let it leech onto you, because then again, like I just said, it becomes a leech. You know what I mean? Imagine if you did that to a million people. You have a whole bunch of anger, hatred in your heart. And if you go back to the movie The Green Mile, it showed us exactly what I'm talking about. Whenever John Crawford did a miracle, he didn't leak because that sickness, that hatred, that whatever was he was taking it out of them, put it in him, but he had to purge it from his body. And then the end of the movie, before they killed him, he said, and this is how they do it. This is how they do it all around the world, because of love. You understand what I'm saying? As long as we have love in our body, you know what I'm saying, we're going to come across so many different trials and tribulations, people doing us wrong, because we got so many people who are individuals. They have their egos precede them. We don't have our egos preceding us because we're in nirvana. We're in the neutral state. We're in the state of nirvana. You understand what I'm saying? So we're going to always be upon this conscious matrix, but we have to remain the central point. We have to stand on our square. You understand what I'm saying? We have to make sure that our kingdom, our temple is purified. You understand what I'm saying? Because that is the nature. That is the natural state. You look at a tree ain't in chaos unless hard winds blow upon it. A tree is not in a state of chaos unless termites take over it. You understand? You can have a nice, beautiful kingdom, but if insects come and take over, you know what I'm saying? Now that house is no longer in the state. You have to find something to come purge it. So the purge, our automatic purge, is keeping that conscious mind. I yield the flow.
Well, I just wanted to say absolutely. That's also what I was trying to say. Like, it's not about the energy. I think it seems like we've always been told that like you can't. It's almost like you can't forgive someone. I mean, well, forgiving the person releases that energy. So what I'm saying is, you can let go of the negative energy, but you don't have to forgive them. You don't have to pardon the act. So
Fact.
absolutely,
Fact.
staying in a, it's almost like you don't have to be mad. It's like sometimes people do stuff. It's almost like a little kid doing something that's wrong. You don't have to be mad about it. You don't have to curse them out. You don't have to. It's the end of the world. But it doesn't mean that you have to allow them to continue to do it. Like I cannot allow you to continue to do this. I'm not mad at you, but you can't. You can't. You got to stop. I am not angry. You just got to stop. Okay. Now we can move on as long as you understand that that's not going to be tolerated.
Hey, I bet the last argument or fight you been in with somebody that was close to you.
Talk to me.
I mean, that's what everybody on the
Wait,
panel.
I
Don't
oh
nobody get into it. Don't nobody get into it with strangers because we don't care
Facts.
about
I
strangers.
do. I'll get into
Man,
I'll get into it without anybody. No, I'm
I
just kidding.
mean, but not really like live with it for 2 3 months. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it
Right.
might be like who you talking to, this, that, and the third. But once you leave that diverse environment, you forget about it. But
I
the thing that stick, the thing that stick be somebody that you like, really like, have faith in or something, or really you put it past them and they did something crazy to you. That's the shit that stick. Like I put this past you, and you did it to me, and it stick. It stick
Hey,
forever. I mean,
hey, real
even if
quick. Hey,
they
hold on.
change,
Hey, hold on. Hey, so I
but
gotta say something. Quick announcement. So I need a time check. You know what I'm saying? Ken, right now I'm outside. It's 9:05 and the sun's still up. It's still kind of lit up out here. The sun, I can still see the sunlight still being at the top of the sky. I can see it kind of like, you know what I mean, that whitish, bluish light. It's 9:05, and right now I'm on the other side of it, and all the stars are coming out. They twinkling, man. These stars are twinkling. You know what I'm saying? Twinkle, twinkle, little star, ring around the rosy. Ashes, ashes, we all fall down. You understand what I'm saying? Like, bro, like this is crazy. You know what I'm saying? We live on a flat plane, y'all. Because I guarantee if you call allergic right now, or yeah, call allergic right now. I guarantee he'll say, yeah, man, the sun is beautiful though. So if I can still see the sunlight, it's 9:05 at night Eastern Standard Time. I still got sunlight out. I still got stars twinkling in front of me. How am I able to still have
and
sunlight and
I'm
energy?
9:05. I'm 9:05 Eastern time, and it's completely dark. That's crazy, man. Go ahead.
Right. So how am I able to see? How is it completely dark where you at now? You in the north now. You supposed to be in the north. Now, they tell us now if you're in the north, you up high, you're in a mountainous area, you're gonna see sunlight before anybody because you can. They say that you can see the sun rays, the puscular rays before you know what I'm saying. They hit down to the dark, shadowy places. Well, if I'm on the flattest part of the so-called globe, the flattest island, the flattest state, you know what I'm saying. We damn near zero with sea level. How is it that fact if I'm down below and I'm looking into the west? You understand what I'm saying? What they call supposedly West, and I still see the glow of the sun in the damn sky at 9:05, and yet I'm getting stars. And I guarantee y'all in about an hour and 15 minutes. I guarantee like clockwork. I guarantee because me and Huey P did this test. You're gonna see the sun, the moon come out, and it's gonna be so beautiful. It's gonna be so big. It's gonna be kind of oranges. When it first make its first appearance, the moon gonna have like this light orange shade. And you're gonna see go from a light orange shade to a yellowish shade into a white stage, and then it's gonna be as it move across the sky. It's gonna be at 12 o'clock. So when the moon get to 12 o'clock high, like you have like 12 o'clock high noon when the sun be in the sky, the moon is gonna look just like the sun and at the same position, but without the brightness of it. So you're gonna see the moon take on the same appearance as the sun. And I'm giving y'all this science right now because you're gonna be like, oh, what the hell was Brandon talking about? You're gonna see the phases and everything behind all this stuff, y'all. I just had to drop some cosmology back on it because now I'm saying it's beautiful out here. But go ahead, y'all.
Yeah, it's completely dark here in New York. Um, and the sun was really like high up earlier when it was out. So it got me thinking that it's going like towards like the northwest, like I think the northwest might get
No, it's going
Darkness,
south because he
madness.
in Florida. It's going
Hey,
south because he in Florida,
it's
and
going.
we
Yeah,
at
it's in the
Yeah,
south.
you're right, right. But right.
Ohio,
He
you
can
in New
still
York,
see it. You're
and
It's
it's
right,
in the
right,
south
right.
south. It's in the south
But
southwest. But
right.
I see Polaris though. I'm looking right. I'm Polaris is chasing it. Polaris is chasing it. It's going. The Polaris star that I'm seeing is so bright. It's the brightest star in the sky right now. That star is going down the same path as the sun, and the moon gonna follow the same path because Polaris sometimes they I want and I listen y'all, I wasn't supposed to tell y'all this at that particular time because somebody was holding me back, but now I'm broke through. Sometimes at certain times of the day, y'all will see the moon and Polaris next to each other. Now, if you
Yeah.
don't believe me, just start paying attention because he would say, bro, you seen that star that was next to the moon? I said, yeah, I've been seeing that too. Every time you see, whenever you see the moon again, when it come back, when it reset, you're gonna see Polaris next to the moon,
fuck.
and it's gonna trail
Hey,
it. But
fuck
y'all go
the
ahead.
moon, Brandon. That's the same star. Like when you was a kid and you walked out your front door, and if you stayed on the left side or right side of the street or whatever, you had to turn around. It was the star that looked dead at you ever since you was a
Yep,
kid, bro.
yep.
It looked dead at you. It's right by your house. It's by everybody's house. As soon as you go outside, look up. It's right there. It might not be no other stars in the sky. That motherfucker be looking at you like, look, bro, I'm right here. Sometimes it be close. Sometimes it be far, and it follow you everywhere you go, bro. That's why I believe in stardust. But go ahead.
No, I was just saying, bro. Like that's everything's everything. Who about to chime in? Ken?
Now we've been building on the sun recording the movements. Like basically, there's some beliefs or teachings that say that the sun records our actions onto the Akasha records. Um, like every day, every revolution and stuff like that. So, you know,
And I
I
heard, I
think
heard
about
this.
that.
Hey, what he talking about? I heard the moon. I heard the sun. I heard the sun give it back to us, and I heard the moon suck it up. I heard the
Come on,
moon suck it in, and then
come
the
on,
sun's rays give us the knowledge
come on,
back. That's
come
why.
on, come on.
Yeah, but that's
Talk to
deep
him.
as fuck, dude.
Talk to him.
What dude was
Yeah,
talking
too.
about deep as fuck. Hell yeah.
I think you could. I think I don't know. This one right here is a little, but like I would do like speaking to the sun, like my intent. Like they
Come on,
say, you should speak into the
come on,
sun, your intent with your
come
feet
on,
in the
come on,
dirt, though, like so
come
you could
on,
be grounded without the rubber
come on,
shoes on.
come
You know
on.
what I mean? And I
Talk
ain't
to him.
gonna front. When I was doing that, like even with the shoes on, like I just get up early and I look at the sun before it be too bright, and I'm like, I intend to bring forth heaven on earth for the
Hey,
benefit of all and exclude none.
hey, let me
Like my
chime in real
days
quick.
would
You get
go
it back.
good, man.
Let me chime in. I'm gonna give it right back to you. What do you think Muslims do? Why do you think they pray certain times of the day? Because they're giving their thoughts to the sun. You
And
listen
why
to
you
what you're
think
saying.
they
Yeah,
roads? Why you think they roads ain't concrete and they
Come
cities?
on,
They
come on,
got
man.
yeah, to cut
concrete,
you off
but
from it.
Wait,
yeah.
I don't understand, you guys. You guys, can you clarify
No,
what we're
we
saying?
clarifying like
All right. So
concrete.
boom, to put it in like in Christianity, if you,
Give it to her. There
because
you
I could
go.
take it there like
There you
on
go.
some
There you go.
All right.
Give
First
give
of
us
all, we
Sunday.
was in
Give
nature
us
first
Sunday.
off, right?
Give
We
us
was
Sunday
in
first.
nature first off. After everything was made, so we already had the connection. Then we got disconnected by way of whatever entity that distracted us. Then we wear shoes, we got everything, we wear clothes. Jesus and them came around in them times and was like, yo, pray, pray, right? He's the son,
Come
but
on.
he's saying pray to the Father,
Come on,
right?
bruh.
Look up
Come
at
on.
the Father and get in tune, right? With the and so that's why they called him the son, because
Come
he
on,
was in
bruh.
tune with the sun. And then even at night, you got to be in tune with the night light too. If you're gonna
Facts.
be up at night, got to be in tune
Facts.
with the night. So that's the balance. But when you speak
Facts.
and tend to the sun, based on what I'm hearing and what I even experienced, it's like you can look at the sun and it's allowing you to speak that intent, and it's like you just got to get in tune with it. You got to get in tune. And even at the moon, I look at the moon too the same way. But you know, I look at the sun, and then you like just go through your day, and you realize like you're making a connection with the forces, with the energies that created us. You know what I mean? And it empowers you to move.
Hey, you just said something so powerful just then, and I'm finna dig in deeper from the code, because like I said, I used to be in a Christian church. Man, I used to go to Sunday school. You know what I'm saying? Again, Sunday school.
Oh, I can't wait to I gotta get it back when you're done. Son just hit me too.
And you know about the sun and all that. It's lose. I just lost it. They took it out of my head, bro.
Nah, bro. Like, look, when at the end of the prayer they say Amen. Amen is the sun still. To further even get into
I got it. Here we go. Thank you, great ancestors, and thank you for breaking back up the sun. So if you go to the Bible, Biblios, Helios, the study of astrology, you understand what I'm saying? It says that Jesus, Yahshua, Emmanuel, or whatever you want to call him, he was caught in the garden of Gethsemane, praying under the moon, because he was soaked. The sun was soaking, the moon was soaking it up, because he was crying. Till they say he was crying so hard that why I have to go through this. In the book, they said that he began to cry tears, and tears began to come from his eyes, from his. Why does it have to be this way? It was under the moonlight. A woman's mental. Go, man, come on, bro. Talk to him.
And hold on,
deep.
Real quick.
That's deep.
To sum it all up to the question that was asked, is just like this. About the putting shoes on your feet, and them. That's why they got concrete everywhere to disconnect us. That's why God said, "Who told you was naked?"
Come on.
Who told you was naked? You supposed to be cool.
Nice. That's nice.
Come on, real shit.
Like who told you naked? They disconnected us from nature, man. So basically, who told you was netted?
Come on.
Yeah. Then you get the meta netter, and then you get the nature, and then you get
Come on.
Go ahead, man. Yo.
Listen, you hear what you're saying?
Yo, is this what they call syncretism right here?
I know, it's beautiful.
Because I don't know but by name. I just know for years this is how I kind of flow. Like I'm born on February 11th, and that's in Aquarius, and I don't know if that means anything.
Of course it do. Of course it do. I'm a Pisces.
I'm 4/11. That's funny.
Hey, listen,
4/11.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, it's supposed to, because we are all in 4 seasons. There's 4 quadrants. There's four seasons. You got the Aquarian age, the Piscean age. I forgot what other ages is all in 4s. You understand what I'm saying?
You know who at the top of the zodiac. You know that Aries at the top of the zodiac. Quit playing games. You know what age is coming back.
Here you go, about the nakedness, right? About being in nature. Think about this for a second. The Bible, what I was telling everybody a little while ago, the Bible was not supposed to be a book to be worshipped. It was supposed to be a book because, see, what they did was when they burned down the temples of Alexandria, and I think it was in 77 AD, you know what I'm saying, when they got all these books, you know, the history of mankind, everything was written down. There was no television. Everything was written down, these scrolls, there, you know, whatever you want to call these manuscripts. You understand what I'm saying? But what they did was, you know what I mean, they put it all in one book. You'll find evidence of Indian religion, Buddha, and all that in your Bible, because you got to understand the Persians was mentioned in the Bible. You go to all these books, Babylonia, Greece, Rome, all these, because again, if you go to the book of Acts or Chronicles, again, I'm giving y'all stuff that only Masons know because they hid the knowledge in the book. You understand what I'm saying? It says that in the God of that book, or whatever God it was talking about, which was decoded, that there was a whole bunch of gods. You understand what I'm saying? There's a whole bunch of guys that people, you know what I'm saying, quote unquote, worship. You get what I'm saying?
And go get Apocrypha. Hey, one sentence and you can talk. Go get the book of Enoch.
Come on.
But to put it in subtitles,
come on.
It's nothing but the movie Book of Eli, and they really tell you like a blind man can see the truth. That's why in the Book of Eli, Denzel Washington was
Come on.
blind. If you may know that, rewatch the movie, but he was
Hey,
blind the whole time. But he had the last book that they took out of the Bible. But go ahead.
yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna say like the other apocrypha, like there's other like lost books as well though that weren't even included in the apocrypha, but like I think it's like I don't know,
Hey, okay.
Thomas, the Gospel of Thomas, the Gospel of John.
Right.
Like in all of those, it definitely will explain about multiple gods, multiple demons, like multiple
Hey,
authorities. Go ahead.
that's because it's a book about human nature. Everything that was going on in that book is
And
going on right now.
history. It's
Right.
about
It's
history.
history. Right. Right.
So I think it does show us like what my what I do think is like okay, so we already know that like they hide a lot of information, you know, like they've hidden sources. And I mean it makes sense when you realize in the olden days like when they would burn books and stuff or burn people because they were trying to get rid of the truth, you know, or at
Right.
least control it.
Right.
So that's why to me when people sometimes look at the Bible or look at even certain other ancient texts they think it's fake fiction. They think it's they like I don't understand. It's like that's because it's tidbits of
There
information.
you go.
It's not the complete information. So this is why you may be confused, but try not to allow it to confuse you. Just try to look at it for what it is, a piece
There you
of
go.
a reflection of history or a piece of
There
a
you go.
reflection of what this is about. And then it's not as confusing. The religion is a power structure just like any other. So that's something that needs its own checks and balances. So I just think people kind of confuse the fact that a person can take the truth and manipulate it. That doesn't mean the truth is wrong or bad. It's the person who has, you know, who's the one who's manipulating you, not necessarily the information itself. You know, so you shouldn't look at the information as false or
Basically, in the layman's terms, what you're saying is it's two sides to every story. I mean, everybody don't look at everything the same way. So yeah, hell yeah, that's deep.
Hey, I love this because what we know, we saying, and we're confirming that the movie that's coming out with Michael Jordan, whatever it is, Michael B. Jordan, whatever his name is, there's a movie coming out, and I read this book in middle school. Matter of fact, they made us read this book in middle school to do a book report on it. But the book is called, I think it's Fahrenheit 451. In the movie, they talk about reading is against the law, and they use the firefighters to burn all the books. So it's pretty much what Nicole's saying. Like, you know what I'm saying? They did it so that only a select few can have the knowledge. And with the knowledge of that, they can rule the whole world. That's why, people say they discredit the Bible, like, oh, I don't believe in that, whatever. But
And
when
look,
you go to Masonic lodges, you're going to find the Bible in there because that's what they teach from
but
Solomon.
look, that's the first diversion with religion.
Right.
Now, if you look at it from like just a basic aspect, like say you take Kemetic, right? That's a book. That study is about the gods, spiritual realm,
There you go.
all that. Then you got the Bible. That's about man and flesh. You know what
There
well
I'm
you go.
saying?
well it
Then
is and it isn't though. I don't mean to
no,
cut you off.
it is. You absolutely right.
And
No, I ain't saying 100% because
yeah.
I never debate that. You would kill me if
Well
I
in
debate.
the book of Enoch, it even jokes about like they're led to worship the man. But what I
There
find
you go.
interesting about them saying they're led to worship the man is how I always looked at the Bible after I started listening to like other spiritualism and stuff and studying it. I was like, oh my goodness. So when the Bible is telling when Jesus is like, well, when it's like to follow the man, to worship the man, I'm like, doesn't that actually say that it's you who
But
you
right,
worship
right.
yourself because you're the man? I mean, like,
There
You
you
right,
go.
right.
so
That's why I said the Bible worship man.
yeah, yeah. Oh,
Kemetic
I thought you meant
worship God.
humanity. I'm sorry.
No,
Okay,
I
go
meant
ahead.
man and like Kemetic like worship the gods and like Greek mythology worship the gods. This was more of a spiritual realm. They
I
not wrong.
see.
They
But you
would
know,
just
religion doesn't teach you that. Like what you just said is not how religion teaches the Bible. Religion
which
teaches the
religion?
Bible. Well, I'm
No,
saying
not the Bible. That's why I said no. That's
Christianity.
why I said
Uh huh.
Kemetic. That's a whole different.
Okay,
That's
let me
like me
explain.
saying the Quran. You know
No,
what
no,
I'm saying?
okay, so let me explain what I was trying to say. If you look at Christian religions, they don't teach you to worship yourself. They don't teach you to look inward. They teach you to worship outside of yourself to this other entity. So
Absolutely.
that's why I'm saying though, what
Right.
I saw in the word is that actually if you read the word and you translated how you worship and applied it to yourself, then
No, you right. You
you
right in
would
that aspect, but that ain't what I was saying. I was
right,
saying
I
the
know.
Bible talk about man, far as like Paul getting exiled, or like this man did this man did that, this man did this.
Right.
Far as like Kemetic is like this God did this God
There
did
you
Well,
that.
why
go.
wouldn't that be a man though? That's what I'm trying to say. Like, why wouldn't that actually have been a man? So
No,
what
because
I'm
they
saying is, if
speak of
gods are
them.
men,
They
okay,
no, they speak of them as bigger than man when they speak of them.
Yeah,
Like they
you hear,
don't
but
speak
I
of
hear
them
what I
as a
understand what she's
normal
saying.
man.
I
stop.
I
understand.
know exactly what she's saying. I just wanted to know where I was coming from. They
No, no,
speak
I
of
do. Yeah.
entities. They speak upon entities in certain cultures and religions where the Bible speak about man to worship one entity. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead.
Yeah, yeah, no, no, I do see that, but that's what I was trying to say. In the Book of Enoch, is saying that. Okay, so it's almost like what I'm trying to say is what is different about the Bible than some of the other religions was that
No,
it, like you said, it was teaching. The text is showing. It's almost like it's streamlining your focus into one one channel. It's like channeling it into one space or one entity. And what I'm trying to say is that Christian religion won't actually reflect that upon yourself. But suppose Christians did reflect that upon themselves.
come on,
You know, that would empower them. So when
come on.
you're looking at the word, the text, the different texts, then that would actually empower the people. But it's almost like, and so what I'm trying to say is, how do you know that the intent of it was not to empower you, but like, I want to manipulate it, I
Uh
want you to
oh,
follow you, I want you to follow my religion, I want you to
uh
give me
oh,
your money, so I'm
uh
going to
oh.
tell you, instead of seeding and sowing into
There you go.
yourself, into your lineage,
There you
I
go.
instead tell you to deny your lineage and sow into my
There you
kingdom.
go.
So this is
Hey,
why I was trying to say that's the thing
Yeah.
about.
do you know what she's saying right now,
So they
y'all? Do you
She
know what
hid
she's?
that religion. She hid that religion in plain truth. Now,
But hold
what
on,
they
wait a
did
minute.
was
Hold on.
flip it. Hold on, I'm
It's
gonna give it right to you. I just need 2 sentences. What they did was the evil people flipped the real word and used reverse psychology on us and took the scriptures and turned them
Yes.
around and then
Yes.
have us thinking crazy. But go ahead,
Yes.
Brandon.
what I was gonna say was because you took the words right out of my mouth. That's how I know this thing real. They're not gonna never teach the people the truth about how to be a real Christian, because a real Christian would sound like you and me. Because what when we really look at the deeper picture behind the story of Jesus, which it was a story, you understand that? Let's just substitute Jesus for another name, Michael, you know what I mean, or another guy. He was a free thinker. He was trying to wake the people up. You know what I mean? They don't tell you that it was more than 12 disciples. You know what I'm saying? The one they called Jesus, the story of it, when you decode it, it was a whole bunch of people, but people were like, man, this dude crazy. And they went back living their regular lives. But it was 12 of them, just like us on this panel. You know what I'm saying? The universe is your so-called Jesus, the Son, you know what I'm saying, God. But Christianity is another word for Christos, crystal. You understand that halo that's around your head that you always see in Jesus? Well, look what they're talking about. They're talking about the pineal gland, if you want to talk about all the chakras, because the rainbow has all the colors of the chakra. So when you really understand that aspect of it, do you understand what's the secret of Christianity? You know what I'm saying? Because every religion, again, you got to break the word religion down. Meaning redo, or legion. A legion is a group, a mass. You understand what I'm saying? All of them have bits and pieces of truth on it, but it doesn't look the way it looked, the way we see it, because they make you worship the man. It wasn't about worshiping the man. It's
Yeah.
the thing
And if
behind it.
you
So
break
Go ahead.
If you break, I'm gonna give it right back to you. I just interrupted because I'm buzzing. But look, if you break down like Christian and you break down like Saturn and all that, I already told y'all you are Satan and Saturn. But then Christian, you know, a M is two N's, right? So it'd be like Christ I am, but really they just threw the N on there
Come
to
on.
like your head. You
Come
know
on.
what I'm saying? Really, the N is two N's.
Yo,
Come
that's
on.
Like
deep.
I
Yo, y'all,
am.
can y'all see my screen?
Yeah,
Christ
go
did.
ahead.
Christ did.
Yo,
Go ahead.
I, I had these thoughts so many times because, like, one of the, for example, there's a picture on the internet when you look up Nat Turner or a sketch. Is Nat
Come on.
Turner with a Bible and a sword, right? And the story of the slaves, or one of the story of the transatlantic slave trade, is that they didn't want the slaves to read the Bible,
Come on.
right? And so when you think of, if I'm putting myself in them shoes, I used to be fiending to read when I was little, right?
Come on.
And to find out stuff and learn. So if I'm reading it like I'm reading now, and then I come across the Psalms, right? Because my grandmother and my aunts and them used to always say, you read Psalms, so you read Psalms, so you read Proverbs, right?
Come on.
And coming up in the streets of Brooklyn with the gods and the earths in them, they used to be like, yo, Psalm 32 verse 6 say ye are gods and shit like that, right? And then you would have people refuting them, right?
Right.
And the same people refuting them is the same people that need to be understanding that they are the gods, right?
Come on.
And so I'm looking at it and I'm reading it again right now, and I look how that whole chapter begin, right? And it's just like how we are right now.
Come on.
It says God standeth in the congregation of the mighty and judges among the gods, right?
Come on,
And that's
somebody.
what we're doing right now. We building and we deciphering what it is and what it is and what it ain't, right? And it says, how long will you judge the ungodly, right? How long
Come
will
on,
you judge
somebody.
ungodly,
Come on,
right? And
somebody.
accept the persons of the wicked, right? Selah, right? And it
Come on.
says, defend the poor and the fatherless, do
Come on.
justice to the afflicted and the
Come on.
needy, right? Deliver the poor and the needy, and wait, let me read outside of the phone. Deliver the poor and the needy, rid them out of the hand of the wicked, right? They know not,
Come on.
neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. There go that darkness again. They
Come on,
walk
bro.
on in darkness, right?
Hello,
Yeah, I'm
somebody.
glad Nicole came back and wanted her to catch up on this, right? Number four verse says, deliver the poor and the needy, rid them out of the hand of the wicked, right? They
Come on.
know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness, right? All
Come
the
on.
foundations of the earth are out of course, right? That
Come on.
sounds like a right now, like some like a Nas verse, like right now,
Right. Come
right?
on.
You know
Talk
what I'm
to us, bro.
saying? So
Talk
it's
to
like,
us.
and then it says, I have said, ye are gods, and ye are children of the Most High.
Come
But
on.
ye shall die like men and
Come on.
fall like one of the princes.
Come on,
Right?
bro.
You are God is what ye mean. You are
Right.
God.
Yeah,
What
exactly.
ye mean.
Come
Exactly.
on. Finish reading that. Give it to him.
Exactly.
Give it to him.
Arise, O God, judge the earth, for
Come
thou
on.
shalt inherit all nations.
Come on.
That's right in their face.
Come on.
Right? And then, but I ain't want to stop reading it because we alive in these 80s and 90s, aren't we? So I'm
Come
looking
on.
at this like 83,
Come
right?
on.
Like if you were around in 83, keep reading. So I'm kept reading, right? And it said, keep not thou silence, O God. Remember what it just told you up
Come
here
on.
though.
Come
Arise,
on.
O God. You're gonna die like a man. You better
Come on.
rise up, nigga. You're gonna die like a man. You
Come
wanna
on.
die, you wanna rise up or you wanna die like a man?
He
Hey, you
teaching.
You
want to
are
He
know
gods
teaching
and
who?
right
children
now.
of
Oh,
the Most High. You my
He
child. I'm
teaching.
telling you right now that you are God. You my child.
He
I'm telling
teaching.
you that.
He
You know what I'm
teaching right now.
saying?
He teaching.
All right, I'll yield the floor though, bro.
hey, that and what's deep about it is just think, man. It's 66 books in the Bible. That's how smart them people was in the ancient times. We can't find nobody to write no literature like that to this day. They was writing that dope ass shit way back then, bro.
And you understand, and not to cut you off, and now you understand why the Masons have it. Because 33 plus 33 is 66. That's why it's 66 books in this Bible, because the Masons have it. You understand what I'm saying? Like I just got done telling y'all, it's 33 degrees of knowledge. They got to stop right there because anything outside of those 33 and 3366 books, everything fall apart because it leads into the other consciousness,
Oh,
man. Come
Yo,
on,
guess
man.
for the
right.
flat
Oh,
earthers, I gotta
hold up,
keep
hold up.
going on this, man. This shit's spooky.
Hold up.
When it
Before you
says,
finish,
go
before
ahead, bro. Go
you
ahead.
finish, you notice how you said the 66. Guess how much of the knowledge was hid?
Come on.
33. That's
33.
99% of the knowledge. That's why
Come on.
33% of the knowledge was hid.
Come on.
But go
Come on,
ahead,
bro.
bro.
Come on,
It's
somebody.
even more than that
Yeah,
though. That's hidden though.
that's a fact.
Absolutely.
But you know
Absolutely.
what? So it's like the code, and that's why I said our people had to have a hand in it. You couldn't just ruin it. Like I remember on dealing with Dr. York, right? Back in the days now, for whatever it's worth. But he was like, yo, when he produced some of the works that the printers would infiltrate and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So when people be like, yo, the Bible is faulty and this and the third, I can't see how people not having hand in it or the power of the Most High not being being able to be manipulated to the point where we can't decipher the truth from the lies. And I also believe that the Satan energy is so egotistical that they will hide the truth in plain sight. And that's why I was tuning into the scripture again. Like I was like, damn, I kept reading this shit when we was talking, because
Come on.
it's like being in flat earth. It's like, because it says like, for lo, thine enemies make tumult and they hate make tumult. And all I could see in that word, even though I don't really know exactly what it
Come
means,
on.
is like create commotion,
Yes,
propaganda,
term.
a bunch of bullshit. You
Yep.
feel me? And they hate thee, they hate that thee have lifted up the head. Like we
Come on.
can see now. We see what's going on. Feel me? We lifting up our head. Hold up, the earth is flat. We
And
lifting up our
people,
head. That's the level. You feel me? We see the plane. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. Right?
Come on.
So against thy hidden ones. So again, we getting back to the part where, are there entities outside of here? Do we have our hidden ones outside of here that they trying to stop from coming in or stop from connecting with us to keep the shit going, or whatever the case may be? You know what I'm saying? You
Here's what's
know,
going
which
on.
is
Here's
why we
what's
got
going
like
on.
infighting so much between
Hey,
each other and
you,
shit like that.
hey, you
Because some
can
people
come in
can't
right after
connect to the
me.
energy.
Let me get 2 sentences. Now, y'all ever heard? You can go right back in because this shit way powerful than what I'm about to say, but I just got a habit of this shit. Anyway, you ever heard of the 3 books of mathematics?
Yeah.
You ever heard of the 3 books of mathematics which come out? We operate in all these phones we own and everything is under one book of mathematics. Now the ancients operated under 3 books of mathematics, which mean they don't need a cell phone, which mean they didn't need none of that shit. They was working under 99% knowledge,
Come on,
99%
somebody.
consciousness, 99% brain patterns. But go ahead. I wanted to say that before I forgot. But
Hey,
go
and
ahead.
that's why
No,
Jay
no,
Z
no.
say Jay Z say I got 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one. What he talking about?
Mm.
He operating on 99% of the knowledge, bro. Come on, man. Come on, somebody. Because
Yeah,
66 is
facts.
99 backwards. Come on, somebody. Come
That's
on,
the
y'all
true
understand the
say.
numbers, man. Come on, man.
Oh, it's 99 upside down. I'm just
Right,
fucking with
right, right.
you.
Yup.
Y'all
Nah,
killing it
that's
right now,
crazy,
yo.
man.
Shout out to the panel, man, for real.
Yo, shout out to you, bro, for having us, man.
No,
Right.
man, yeah, yo, man, y'all are into it. Y'all, I'm kind of mad about the reptilian thing. It got
Oh,
deleted, but we most definitely we gonna redo
yeah.
that. We gonna
Yeah, we
redo
could
that.
get into that too on here too if we want
Well,
to.
nah, we got to
But
do
I
it
got this.
separate. We got to do it
All
separate.
right.
Hey,
You
listen.
want
Okay, hey,
But you
I
to
want to
know
add something.
what though? You know what though? Knowledge before real quick. If we do like, say if you do like 10, 20 minutes, you could even chop it and put it in
Oh,
another
okay,
thing and
okay.
still do another one. You feel what I'm saying?
Hey,
Yeah,
I'm
We
a
got
yeah.
some time and we do long streams, you
hey,
can
Hey, can
chop
I
it
chime
down and
in? Hey, can I
re-upload it.
chime in real quick on a
hold
reptilian
up.
real
I'm a
quick?
reptilian. I'm a reptilian because I rep till the end.
Yeah.
Can I chime in real quick on it real quick?
Go ahead, brother.
I'm finna set it up, and I'm finna set y'all with something real quick. I'm finna set y'all up real nice. I'm finna paint it like Jesus did. You know what I'm saying? Using allegories. You know what I'm saying? You got to put it in parables, and parables is a vision so that everybody can understand it. So when you go back to the Garden of Eden, it says that, you know what I mean, people of the world were naked. Then it said a serpent. Let me tell you where the story of the reptilian came from. The serpent. It says that in the serpent, you go back and read Genesis, and King can open up that book. It said in the serpent, most wisest of all creatures, came up to Adam and Eve, supposedly. You know what I'm saying? You can substitute that name for whatever name you want, because it just came upon two people, because it was a whole bunch of people. Adam and Eve was just two other people in the story. See, they don't tell you the whole truth. That's the only way that Cain was able to go out and find his wife, because there was other people. Cain and Adam and Eve were just two people, man. Say, imagine you got 10 million people, and you had these two that just wandered off in the garden to go see the creation, and this serpent came upon them and began to have them to question. You understand what I'm saying? To question and bring forth thought. That's where your serpent come from, and you see it go out through the ages of millennia. I'm not talking about as far as the Bible, but where they threw the serpent in there, they threw that reptilian in there. That's where that reptilian stems from. And now you got people like David Icke, who didn't even mention what I just mentioned, but you know what I mean? That's the fact that reptilian is out there in the world, because it even talks about it in your book. Now, there's a misnomer. People will say, "Oh, that was a devil. That was a devil." No, that the devil wasn't cast out then. If you want to go through the Christian theology, chronological order of every damn thing, he wasn't even thrown out then. You understand what I'm saying? But that's a whole nother story. Everything is about is allegories. But somebody want to chime in and add on to that. You know what I'm saying? You can take it to a whole nother place if you want. I yield to the flow.
But yeah,
Nah, you good, bro.
just the whole thought of us having reptile in our DNA, or you know what I'm saying, something like that. Because what's dude named David Icke? David Icke, right? He done did over like 30 books since the 70s trying to convince people that there's aliens living on a moon base, right? Living on a moon base. And according to him, they're 12 feet tall, and they were created by another celestial race that wanted to leave the fourth dimension. They left the fourth dimension, came to the third dimension that we live in, and they destroyed their universe, and shards of their universe spread it out, and they created multiverses trying to bring life back. And doing that, they created these lizard people, these reptilians, and their sole purpose was to go out and just conquer everything.
Let me tell you what David Icke ain't telling you. Why I believe
it's just a bunch of bullshit.
Hold on. Let me tell you where he stole that story from, because that's why I love my brother, why he did what he did with the story, with the movie Black Panther, and he tell you about Wakanda. Okay, the whole reptilian aspect comes from this, bro. That you talk about 12-foot individuals. Well, hell, if you go to the Congo, you go to all these other countries that's in the deep jungles of Africa. You know what I'm saying? You go to where my daddy lives at right now, Ethiopia and Kenya. You got a house, you just remarried, you got a wife. I got another brother over there. Man, we got brothers over there, man, that walk around at 7'11". You know what I'm saying? Almost 8 feet tall. Go watch the movie from back in the day, the air up there when the white.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Okay,
I agree with you.
But this is what they did. They perverted it. They perverted and put the reptile on it. What they're telling you is about these powerful individuals.
They don't even tell you about the book of Enoch. In the book
no.
There were giants.
What I'm saying is that David Icke hijacked that story. It's almost like, for example, man, The Lion King is the same movie played over and over again, whether through animation or it's through the actual physical film. Every movie is about the same thing, just in different perspectives thereof. So what I'm saying is David Icke stole a story.
Yeah.
And put reptilian on
it.
He know the truth behind it, but he had to do
what
that.
What y'all know about Shakespeare, man? Hey, Ken. Ken.
I'm here, bro.
Hey, turn to Psalms 46.
Got you, bro.
All right, now count 46 words into the Psalms. You're going to find the word shake. Deep ass shit. You're going to find the word shake. Now, if you count 46 words back from the end of that Psalms, you're going to see the word spear, Shakespeare, and the 46 Psalms. Yeah,
You
you're gonna
see it?
count
You said
46 words.
46 and 46.
You're gonna count 46 words from the top of the whatever, and then you're gonna go down to the bottom. Look, if you turn to Psalms 46 in King James
Can
Bible,
you see my
and
screen?
yeah, and if you
All
count
right, the word
exactly
shake is right there.
46
Shake.
words into the
Yeah, I
Psalms,
just had it. I just had it.
now you count 46 words into the Psalms, you'll find the word shake.
There
Now,
it
if you
is, right
count
there.
46 words back from the end of that Psalms, you will see the word spear, Shakespeare. You see what I'm saying? Now, this is how deep this shit is. These motherfuckers been playing games. They've been playing games since day one, bro.
Hey,
Period.
you
Yeah,
right
right here.
because Shakespeare lived in the same era as your King James
He
version.
was
King,
46 years old. No, he was
right.
46 years old when they started the Bible, bro. He
Check
wrote
me,
so many of them books, bro.
check me out. Check me out. Check me out. William Shakespeare and King James, they were lovers. They were
You see
King
that?
James was a homosexual, but not say anything bad about homosexual, but just give y'all the knowledge on it. But King James was a master mason. He chartered that book from England and brought it over there when they started colonizing the colonies. Guess where you got 13 colonies. That's where you got the wigs. So that book is coded. You know what I'm saying? So everything my boy Sir Drop is saying, he's telling you some real stuff. You know what I'm saying? Only certain people know the knowledge that we dropping right now. You know what I'm saying? My thing is this: if it's such a secret, how do we know it? I ain't never been in no
Hey,
Masonic
no,
school. I
you
ain't
want to
never.
know why? Because you
Go ahead.
born with it, bro.
Come
Like,
on.
you born in the game. Like, some people born and know how to do this, or some people born, you born in it. I mean, like, they call them indigo children now, right? Now the children being born now is gods for real. I mean, they smarter than you. Like, you telling them to shut up, sit down, be quiet, and they looking at you like you's a fucking idiot. I'm I mean, these kids, bro, is smarter than their mamas. They just don't know how to speak. So they looking at their mama like, man, why the hell is you smoking that cigarette? I swear to God, they looking at her like that. And
We're
the
gonna
kid only like 3 years old, bro. And they
come to
really that intelligent. And watch, you'll see when they get like 30 years old and they just be like having moving sidewalks and shit. We supposed to have like escalating sidewalks. We ain't supposed to be like having to drive no goddamn where. The
But
sidewalk supposed to go 50 miles an hour.
so that's what they say anyway though about um like schools, the institution of schools, like that basically it is to dumb people down. So you're right. It's almost like most young kids are smart, but as they age, like television, the culture, and all that stuff, they lose it.
it's
That's
designed.
what happens.
Thank you, Nicole.
Eh,
Thank you for bringing that up, sister. Because you just said that it seemed like it go down. Well, you gotta understand too. When they put us through elementary school, they teach you the elements. They give you the elemental knowledge. Then they take you to middle school. You get middle knowledge. Then high school, you get higher knowledge. But at the end of the day, when you graduate, they put a box on your head. They put a square over your head, which is the base of that cube, not the cube, and also that pyramid. And they give you a scroll. Because for those that's in the know, you're supposed to go find the Dead Sea Scrolls. You're supposed to go out and get knowledge. Because you always ask yourself, like, you know what I'm saying? You give me a scroll, a piece of paper, but ain't nothing on it. But it's symbolic because the base of a pyramid is the foundation. They give you that square. You're not supposed to keep your mind in that square, but once you build upon that square, you take a circle, you put that circle on the outside of that square, you put that triangle in the middle of that circle, the same three shapes they showed you in elementary school. Then you begin to build. Now you can move in dimensions because you take a pyramid, a cube, and a sphere, and then all that conjoined. And now you thinking. You understand? This is secret knowledge. This is sacred knowledge. This is occult knowledge that all these societies know. And what I'm gonna say again, do y'all understand how powerful it is that we have not been a part of those, or at least I know. I can speak for myself. How do I know what they know? That means that I'm plugged in, y'all. We all plugged in. Bro Sanchez was talking about it in his story, her story. Like we
They
all
make
plugged in.
Hey Brandon, they make you think what they teach you. So what happens in that nature is how I'm gonna know more than the teacher. If they don't tell me everything, I just ain't gonna know it. Instead of being a
Right.
free thinker, you know what I'm saying, and
Right.
thinking of my own shit and saying my own possibilities versus their possibilities and theories, I'm only gonna know as much as the teacher. But go ahead.
And
Also,
don't
you're
don't
not
you?
taught to think, though. That's the real thing. Like, really, you're supposed to exercise like you do your
Oh
body. You're like, you have to exercise
my
your mind. So
God.
that means that you have to be like actually allowed the time to come up with a solution. But you're not, because you have to get graded and you have to get
Yep.
done according to this time frame, and you
Yep.
have to do it by these schedules rather than a natural process that, like, you may naturally be,
Come on.
excel
Come
in
on, Nicole.
mathematics and in grammar, but
Oh my God,
you're not
Nicole.
allowed to do that because you have to, you know what I mean, like, all your grades have to match and you
Come
have to
on.
do, you know what I'm saying, so it's almost like controlling, and everything is about memorization. So these people aren't actually thinking, they just have a really good memory.
So
Man.
what you saying is this: you could be the best scientist in the world, but you failed school because your English grade and your math
Come
grade.
on.
That's
Exactly, and
deep.
that would happen. That actually in school when I was at university, your lowest grade got dropped, but one of your grades was actually based on attendance. I was like, how the heck does this? What does that got to do
Come
with
on.
anything? I'm getting A's, but I just don't show up. But I still did my work. But
Hey.
that's the thing; it doesn't count. So they create the structure that decides your measure of intellect or your measure of
Oh my
aptitude,
God.
which it has nothing to do with your ability to solve
Oh
problems,
my
with your
God.
ability to create things, with your ability to transform things. It has nothing to do with that.
Oh my
But
God.
outside of that, that's why you had people who were quote unquote or seemingly uneducated according to the standard of education, but they were able to do farming and agriculture better, or even architecture, because it was something inside of them that they're able to see it without memorization, but they naturally could see a problem or naturally see it's not going to work, it's not going to fit, these
Come on.
dimensions are off. But they may not say it in a way that you think is sounds intellectual, so you're going to say, oh, what do they know? But it's like they actually do know.
Hey.
So, that's
Hey.
what happened, baby.
Hey. Let me say this real quick. You just said something so powerful, Nicole. And I'm finna use a little bit of Bro Sanchez swag on this. You said something so powerful about they choose what you learn. Listen, let's go to the Department of Education logo, y'all. They logo is a tree. Okay, so they pick the apples off the tree and give to us. They don't never tell you about the tree they get it from. That's see, the tree is the tree of knowledge that they show you in the Bible. So even the Christian mythology, Christian ideology is even hidden in the school because you supposed to get a teacher an apple. What was that? What was the so-called fruit that was used in the Bible? The apple. But here's the knowledge behind it. They choose what our students learn, like Nicole just got done saying. They should be teaching us about agriculture. They should be teaching us about stuff that's outside of this bullcrap they teaching us. But again, they're choosing based off the tree of knowledge of good and evil mythology. That's why it's their logo, the Department of Education. You could Google it. They choose what they want to give you. What I'm saying? Instead of giving you the different fruits on this tree, they're just gonna give you one fruit or one aspect of knowledge and teach on that.
Right.
Then go ahead.
And it's just like the how we were saying about the Bible even before. It's like the tidbits that they focus on is rooted in it's your root chakra basically. The tidbits that they focus on is so low, it's like they don't expound upon that, because like you were talking about the subjects, like if you talk about geometry could be good, but they don't really teach you to
Come
understand
on.
it in completion. They teach just a tidbit of it. So you think you know geometry, but it's like then you get somebody talking about, oh, the like real geometry, and you're like, oh, that's silly. That's just silly. What you're
Hey,
talking about
Brandon.
is not real.
Hey, Brandon. Remember when I told you Satan got to tell you when he fucking you over?
Come on.
Now, remember when you said the apple?
Come on.
Now what? Now what's in the apple? A
Come on.
fucking worm. He let
Come
you
on.
know it's a wormhole in this shit. So we gotta dig deeper. You know what I'm saying?
Come
So
on.
when they gave us the apple, he had to tell us it's fraud, or he can't tell us no fraud shit. So he put the worm in the apple for the subliminal, so it can
Okay,
teach
now I'm
us the
finna build
raw
on that. I'm
shit.
glad you just said that, bro,
But
because the
now
worm,
hold on. When you say apple, now which apple you referring to?
We talking about the apple
it's
to the
symbolic.
teacher.
It
We
don't matter the
talking
apple.
about the you know how you get a teacher an apple and they got the apple in front of their desk and the teacher get an
Yeah,
apple this that and the third, but they teaching you false knowledge. So that's where
right.
the
Okay, I got
worm
you. I got you. I got you. I got you. I got you.
The apple is the allegory of the story, y'all. It's the allegory. What my brother Sir just dropped a gem for us is that they say there's a worm in the apple, but the worm is the word because whenever you see depictions of the apple and the worm, at least when I was a little kid, they used to have like these little pictures around the desk and on the thing. I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. Why are y'all embellishing a worm with glasses on? He got a smile on his face and he got a book open. He sit in front of an apple. And I started thinking to myself, the apple is the word, the worm, the apple and the worm, or the apple and the word, because the word, the knowledge came forth from biting the apple. That's why you have Apple iPhone. Whenever you look on your back of your iPhone, you see a bit of apple. You know what I'm saying? You see a piece of it gone. But
So
here's the
we
thing.
the worm.
Go ahead.
We the worm then.
We the worm. Yeah, we the word or the word. The word.
But see, that's why. See, there. That's why. Like, to kind of go into what Nicole was saying,
What they
and
say.
this thing gives you clues. It didn't give you. It's like it give you clues, and like the health code. Like for me, the health code is big. Like when, but what y'all just broke down to me was deep. Like from Brandon saying the tree, it's a tree of knowledge, and then I'm thinking about all the fruit trees. Like if the Satan, the serpent telling you not to eat the fruit tree, just like the serpent today, it's telling you you ain't gonna surely die, right?
Come on, bro.
But like these FDA, they tell you eat 5 to 7 fruits and vegetables a day,
Come
but
on,
then
bro.
they also tell you that you can eat everything else that we eat, and we know all that other stuff is not hacking it. You know what I mean? It's
Come
not
on,
Hey,
bro.
conducive
you wanna know
to
what let there be light was? All right, not the tree of life is the biggest tree in the world, but it was trees bigger than that, right? Well, not bigger than that. That's a
Come on.
contradiction. But
Come
the
on.
trees covered the fucking sky. They were so big, and they cut the trees down. You know what I'm saying? And they still cut the tree. These trees we see as little baby trees. When you see
Come
the
on, bro.
plateaus, when you see a plateau, that's a tree stump. When
Come
you
on,
see a
bro.
mountain, that's a fucking tree. That shit used to reach the heavens down there,
Come on, bro. You talking
and
about
they cut them
petrified?
bitches up.
You
Yeah,
talking
they
about
cut them
petrified
down and
wood?
shit. Yeah.
You
so was
talking
the
about
giants,
petrified?
so there was the giants still giants real too then?
I
Well,
don't
Hey,
that's
know
when
about
you come to the
that.
book of Enoch. If we talking about the giants,
Yeah,
now,
the Giants are real.
now,
hey,
if you
Jack.
talk about the
hey!
book of Enoch, let me break down the giants to
Definitely,
you.
Hey,
You want me to
to
break
confirm
down the
what you
giants
talking
to
about.
you?
Hey, hold on. Before you say that knowledge, let me just say this. I'm finna confirm what you talking about with the big tall trees because I believe that and I know that
Oh, I do
the
too, brother.
mountain, the
I
mountain, the
do too.
mountain, the mountain, the mountain thing. If you go to Australia, they got like this big old looking thing. They say it was a mountain. No, it's not, but it was a tree that they cut down because if you go back into like the 1920s, you look at these old pictures of these trees, bro. Listen, they had trees, bro, that's big as houses. Like you'll see pictures of
They
these
had
guys
trees
standing in
big as
front of these trees.
skyscrapers back in ancient times, man.
Bro, you see pictures. Like I'm saying, you can Google pictures like 1918 or 1920. Them cutting down trees, all bro. These trees were humongous, humongous. I'm talking about bigger, like he said, bigger than the trees that we see now, bro. These trees,
Bigger than
like the size
redwoods.
of
That's like one of the tallest trees
yeah,
today
well, yeah, those are the ones that's left
trees
over,
used to
but
be
there
the
was trees
biggest
bigger than
thing.
them. There were trees bigger.
in the
Listen, they got a
world.
tree right
Yeah,
now. They got a tree right now in California. They say they turned the tree into a 3-lane or 4-lane road. Think about that. Think about your 4-lane
well,
road.
you know they built civilizations in trees in ancient times, man.
Yep.
Hey man,
Like,
Trees was
like
the
for
biggest
real.
shit.
what you think?
I just had
Brandon?
to
Hey
confirm. I just
bro,
had to
listen
confirm
to
what Sir Drop
listen to
said.
this. Listen, what you think was where your house is at right now? Everything, every man, we built this shit. All this shit was vegetation,
Come
trees,
on,
and food, bro. They tore all this shit
Yes.
down and built goddamn caves. They built caves, modern caves, because it's all cement. They don't
come
use
on, bro.
wood, and they
Come on,
took us
bro.
away from all that. At least use wood,
Come
motherfucker.
on, bro.
They use wood for money and paper.
Come on,
And they killing all the trees to print
come on,
fake ass money and paper.
come on.
Now they use drywall for our houses. That shit
Come on.
made from water and some weird ass shit they
It's some
put
mud. Come
together.
on, talk to him.
Well, what they said is that they actually destroy the trees because of what they provide for us in our environment as well as in our biologically. So the destruction of the trees and the plant, the vegetation is directly to, affect the people's
But
consciousness or
Yep.
but we
uh,
But
don't need them to provide. We don't need them to provide us no shopping malls. I mean, like if we weren't indoctrinated with the vanities, we'd be cool with finding a coconut tree and be like, "Hey, it's a coconut tree, 38 steps left," and you know what I'm
right,
saying.
right.
But now
And
they
they
got
they
to.
do
Yeah, I
filter
want
the
to.
air. They filter the air. They actually make you like, certain plants in your house. I mean, also not only are they medicinal, a lot of plants and stuff, but the trees, I don't know, I forget what it is,
You
but it's
know,
something about trees, not GMO trees, but real
hey,
trees.
and did you
yeah,
know? Did you know
trees are
a coconut is more important than some Jordans? But a coconut is $3, and some Jordans is $100. So they fooling us with vanities. Like we didn't need them to give us no clothes. We didn't need them to give us no cars. We didn't need them to do none of that. What they did was they call it empathy. Now we done fucked this up. Let's give back. Since we fucked this up, let's give back so they'll be happy. I'm not happy. I'm not happy. I wish I could still run around with plates in my lip for real. I ain't even bullshitting with you. I wish I
You're
could be
silly.
asshole. I get no for real. Be asshole. Get burning a big ass hemp fire, partying with my family, going fishing in the morning, and building the next day. Period.
Talk
That
to
that
him,
was
bro.
fun.
Talk to
That
him.
was fun. This ain't fun. Me chasing this dream that's never gonna come true. And if it do come true, it's only for a matter of time. Man. Go ahead, y'all finish.
Hey, I'm with you 100% on that, bro. You speaking that real, but yeah, go ahead. Somebody else pick up the mic.
shit.
So oh shit.
No, I was
Hold
just
on,
thinking
hold
where
on.
you was at.
Oh, we okay now. I don't know who it was, but it said S was giants real. And you was just looking at the Bible, Ken, and I thought about the books that was missing from the Bible, because the Bible we know now is fabricated, just a third of what the Bible really was. It's way bigger than that. So
Yeah,
you had
footnotes,
you
the
had like
Bible
20 books
footnotes.
missing. So when you talk about the book of Enoch, now the book of Enoch shows the deceptions of the angels. Because most of the time you just see, oh, Lucifer was cast down to the earth, and now he's doing all this and that. But now in the book of Enoch, right, you had other angels. And see, they don't got the book of Enoch inside the Bible now because they done took it out. But the ancient tablets were found where? Ethiopia, right? So now the book of Enoch, it talks about these angels, how they lust for the women of earth.
The
The
daughters of
women of
men.
earth, listen, they love their hair, and the angels lust them. So it was about 12 or more angels. They actually wanted to leave the heavens, and they went down to earth, and they became deceptive, more like demons, demonic, wanting to have sex with all the women. They had beautiful long hair. That's why in certain religious groups they have women cover their veils. Well, put a veil on their head or cover their hair. They keep the angels from coming to possess you. And long story short, the book of Enoch talks about how the angels came down, they partied with the women of earth, they had their hair out and had sex with the women of earth, and out of this it caused giants.
Not
And
you
and,
want
and
to
once
say
word and
giant.
once word got back to God, God was like, "Oh no, I'm not having this." So God sent some other angels out to infiltrate the angels that's down on earth having sex with the women, causing these
Not
giants to be
knowledge.
born. And listen, and the giants were flesh eating things. That like all they wanted to do was eat flesh. These giants that the women would have. They're taking over the earth, so they send these angels down to stop one of the angels that was provoking the stuff that was going on, and they cast him in the bottomless pit, the same as they did with Lucifer, Satan, or whatever other name you want to give them. But that's like the Book of Enoch.
Here's where they duped us in the Book of Enoch. Here go the dupe right here. What they saying is they were protecting the women from this gender war when they was taking over the mother goddess. So they added the flesh that they was eating into the Book of Enoch when really they was eating that. And the guys in the Book of Enoch was like, man, hold on, leave these women alone, man. Hold up, man, y'all tripping. You know what I'm saying? So they took the book out because it was talking about the woman. That's why the Bible never talk about the woman. The only woman they talk about is Mary. I mean, like they make sure they take everything out that's supporting a woman's well-being. But to add on to that, the Bible, if you notice, every book in the Bible was probably 6,000 pages long. It's footnotes. It's footnotes. Like to read the Bible would take you a lifetime for real. Not the Bible they give us, but each book of the Bible. Like you read the Book of Enoch and you go to each book, each chapter.
And if like, you guys ain't read the Book of Enoch, you guys really need to look it up and go check it out. Like it, but like this was like back in the ancient times, they actually read this like how people read Psalms and relate to that, because that was the only part of the fantasy world where man actually witnessed. Like there was an actual man, I can't remember his name, but he actually walked with God for 2 years in the Book of Enoch. Like you guys got to check that out. He actually walked in the heavens for 2 years.
He actually Enoch. That's what I heard.
He was the one that.
He
was the one that.
Is right.
I'm saying the Book of Psalms is 6,000 pages long. You never read Psalms. You read the footnotes, the context. When you read the Bible, you're reading the footnotes.
It's all been broken down, brother. We know that. Tom did that. King James did that. That's why we got his version of the Bible. It's not the
y'all
original.
know who Enoch is.
That's why Jehovah's Witness got the New World Translation.
One thing.
That's why you got the number 7 book. That's why you got all that. I feel you.
Okay, you guys.
Hold up. One second. Before he asks y'all who the Book of Enoch is, what I'm saying is this. Just like you got the whole Book of Enoch, every chapter in the Bible has its own whole book.
Right.
I agree.
Well, the Book of Enoch, there's actually 3 texts of it. Like I think there's that Ethiopian version, there's a Slavic version.
Yes.
There's one version that they said was bought on private auction and has never been made public. So there's actually one translation that is not available to the public. So and it's supposedly a complete work. So yeah, there's clearly a lot of information that exists that we aren't privy to, that we're just not going to know about. But that doesn't mean that you can't glean from what you do know. And like you even said, sir, about like some stuff is imprinted upon people, and I just think that maybe everybody has something different. That like when we have a conversation, it's like I bring a little piece and you bring a little piece, and it's like it comes together, and then it becomes this complete idea or understanding of what certain things mean.
Voltron.
It ain't easy.
Facts, though.
Yo, there's the legs and arms come together. Voltron.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's
Real
exactly
talk.
what I mean. That's a visual of what I was trying to say.
Yo,
Hey, y'all do know who Enoch is, right?
They only mention Enoch one time in the Bible. How about
Enoch
that?
is Moses' dad.
They mention him in the Book of Genesis one time.
And he Moses' dad.
No, he was the guy. He was the guy that walked with God for like 2 years.
Right.
365 days.
Yeah, that's Moses' dad. Something like that. That's
Y'all know
Moses'
who
dad.
he is, though.
Is he Moses' dad?
They didn't say who he was. They only mentioned him one time in the Bible.
Hey, that's
That's
Cain.
Elijah. Elijah.
That's Cain's son. That's Cain's first son.
Okay, yeah, he right. Fact.
Hello.
Hey.
Did you
Like
guys?
Cain and Abel. Cain and Abel. That's Cain's first son. Enoch is Cain's first son.
Did you guys know Power to the People public storage is open on Discord uh, for a chat in case anybody wants to move over to Discord.
Buzzkill.
Yo, I appreciate
Hey,
you guys
Enoch
coming
is
in on the
Cain's
panel, man.
first son,
For
bro.
real.
Hey,
Hell
real
yeah.
shit.
And what's cold is this, man. We ain't like no dashiki wearing people, man. We just and we
I ain't gonna
started.
lie. I got me a couple of dashikis. I wear them.
Ain't saying that. What I'm saying, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I got you, brother. I feel you. I feel you. I feel you.
I mean, they ain't gonna deplete me in a Elijah Muhammad outfit. They gonna have me with a fitted hat on. But anyway, I'm saying normal people is really conscious, and we picking them up because they hearing the lingo, and they're like, man, well, that sound
Hey,
like my girl, man,
hey,
or that's
hey,
like my homie, and we all smart, man, and shit. Go
hey,
ahead.
We all got our own
hey,
traits.
Genesis chapter 5, verse 19. It says, and Jared lived after he begat Enoch 800 years. And so basically it was saying, yeah, Jared lived in 18, verse 18, and Jared lived 162 years, and he begat Enoch. Then they got a reference in Jude 1:14.
So who's Jared?
Jared. All right, let's go back up. Jared was begat by Mahalalel. Mahalalel. Let's go back. This is chapter 5. Let me go up a little bit. Canaan. Go up before Canaan. You got Enos. Enos is the son of Seth.
Seth is the son of Adam and Eve, ain't it?
Yes,
He's the third son.
the third son.
Yes.
Right. So
That was the one
but
that had Eve. I think it was Eve traits.
here's the thing about these stories. There's so much to this stuff. Like, this is why I'd be like, when I'd be talk to people who read the Bible, I'd be like, yo, if you ain't starting from Genesis, don't even talk to me, because there's too much in
Yes.
here alone to even deal with, to be going all the way to New Testament to all other kind of crazy stuff. It's
Yes.
all in here, right? Because I'm only me saying that to just get to the Seth dude, right? Seth, right? Before Seth, though, right? Adam knew his wife again and bare a son and named him Seth. Like, all kind of shit happened. Cain slew Abel, and then Adam was alive. Like, so they showing you was different whole races, different whole lines of people.
Yeah, Adam was in despair after all that stuff happened, and his son ran away. Adam was
You
in
know what I'm saying?
despair. Eve was too.
And they was mad at Cain because he the first one. They tried to paint him all evil and shit. He was the first one to spread the consciousness. Now how he did that is he was the first one to leave and deal with the Adamites.
He was
You know,
cursed.
and so, no, he wasn't cursed.
Yeah,
That's
he was
bullshit.
cursed. They put it on his
But
body. They said,
wait,
nobody was able to kill him.
But wait,
It's
Charles,
in
but
the
wait, let
Bible.
me
It's
bring
in the
it back.
Bible, brother.
Hold on,
Okay,
let
you
me get
guys,
back.
calm
Look.
down.
Oh,
It's
look.
not clear.
Let me
Audio is
deliver.
not clear.
Hello.
My
Yeah,
bad,
let
y'all.
me
Look, there's a
let me
different
deliver.
Enoch right here.
All right, you
There's a
ain't letting
different Enoch. In
Hey,
17, it says Cain knew
me.
his wife and conceived and bare Enoch.
that's why I just got done telling y'all that there was more people on the planet just than Adam and Eve, because
Now
Adam
let
and
me
Eve
deliver,
slept in
man.
this. It's so deep, bro. Go ahead and finish
Let
that
me
though.
deliver.
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Now
Go ahead, bro.
Cain spread the consciousness. Remember, it was Cain and Abel. It was whatever. He left and went and got married. So who he went and
And
got
when he
married?
left, he got cursed. He got something on his forehead. It was
They
a
call
sign that nobody was able to kill him.
Right, I know you absolutely right till I drop this gem on you. Now that's where they dupe you at.
Come on.
All he did was spread the God consciousness, because mind you, Adam, he gave Adam the consciousness. It was Adamites. They weren't nothing but slaves. They weren't
Come on.
workers. And
Talk
it was
to him.
built and they was working. And he said, I'm gonna make one with the consciousness of me. So when Adam and Eve had them and that and the third, and then Cain left and had a baby from the Adamites, they call it a curse to give us the knowledge we got now. If Cain did that, we would never have this knowledge. Never.
Come on.
We'd still be building pyramids. We'd
Come
still
on.
be digging
I
holes.
feel you,
Come
We'd
on.
brother.
still be finding fossils and shit.
Come on.
I
Talk
feel
to
you,
him.
brother.
Once he bled the shit out, they was mad at him, so they said, "You cursed, you," and they still try to keep their family together to this day. You still got the Rothschilds having incest and all that. They was
Come on.
mad Cain left the bloodline. You know what I'm saying? So they tell us if you have incest, your baby will be retarded. They
Well,
ain't
you know,
fucking.
that's how the king and queens of England used to be. They used to have ancestors. They kept it all in the family.
Oh, they
That's
still
that's
do,
why their
bro.
bloodline are so
All
dominant.
their, why you think all the
Yeah, man.
related?
I heard Cain did that shit he did. Though. They had a sister that's not talked about in the Bible.
Well, I know is Adam and Eve got 3 kids. I know the third son was Seth.
So who you think? Who
Yeah.
you think Cain?
And Seth's son, and guess who
Knowledge.
Seth's son was? Guess who Seth's son was? I believe Seth's son was Noah.
No,
Knowledge.
Seth's son was
Knowledge.
Enos.
Knowledge.
Seth's grand.
Seth's
Knowledge.
son was Enos. But we
Knowledge.
gotta get a focus. We lose. We getting a little. I don't know. But go ahead.
Oh, we ain't knowledge. Who did Cain go have sex with? That show you that
He
the
had
first
sex with a lady
man
from a
wasn't-
foreign land.
Now that lets you know Adam and Eve wasn't the first people on earth right there.
Yeah, so
Right.
that goes back to when we was talking about
All right, now hold up,
multiple gods.
knowledge, hold up. You know I can't think or talk fast. I'll be like, listen.
Go ahead,
Now,
brother.
I guess
Yo,
what
man,
they
I love
talk-
y'all. Shout out to the panel, man.
Look, when Cain did that, guess what they turned that story to when he went and had sex with the normal Adamites. They turned that into Anunnakis, reptilians, gods
Come on.
coming here, that and the
Talk to
third. Really,
Talk to
Cain just spread the consciousness of
Talk to
what
him.
God made to something God didn't give consciousness to. And God was like, okay, I didn't mean to give you that much decision, but fuck it. It is what it is. Now y'all got evil and good. Now, okay, fuck it. I'm going to let y'all deal with the slaves saying, I ain't working if you ain't got to work. That's what we got.
Hey.
That's what we dealing with to this day, man.
Hey, do y'all
But how
understand?
can we be imaginative though and think that like if it was some giants or no before the giants, if it was some angels like these fallen angels that gave this different information or this new knowledge to people, isn't it possible that they could have did some crazy weird stuff?
No.
Like crazy weird scientific
Yes, it's
stuff,
all-
like
yeah.
what they're doing now.
The Book of Enoch. I feel
Like-
you.
like you have like a-
I think it would happen again.
Go
Go ahead.
what?
My bad. I'm sorry.
No, okay, I
think
know.
it
I'm
would
just
happen
like
again.
you. I need to finish my thought, or I won't remember. What I was gonna say is, like how they mix, or how we were talking. You guys were talking about how like these vegetables were different, and like they have like I think they have this meat that's like lamb and turkey mixed. I don't know. It's some weird stuff. But what I'm trying to say is how do you know that like back in the day they didn't, because that's what that Anunnaki stuff comes from, right? Like that they may have messed with genetics or
Yeah.
altered certain animals, and I mean that's what they do with plants, you know what I mean, like
Piggyback.
crossbreeding and stuff.
To piggyback what you're saying, and y'all can take the mic from me. That's why they used to mummify the gods and hope they could do the stem cell research and bring them
Right.
back.
Right.
That was the whole purpose of them mummify.
And that's the
They
information.
mummify
And you're
peasants.
right. And the crazy thing is that is one of I saw this presentation about like I don't know some this anthropologist was doing this presentation talking about how from these like some of these desert countries or whatever that soldiers came in and raided like their museums and their historical like their archives and took like afterlife stuff, like stuff that was about like the afterlife and information books, you know, relics. The reason why I bring that up is because, you know, people don't think it's hard for us to kind of conceive that back in the day, maybe people really did have abilities to do things that are beyond our understanding right now.
I think
You know what I
that
mean?
we have those abilities now.
I feel
and
you.
that
They created
they-
But we're
mathematics.
missing.
they hide
Yes.
them in the form of deception, like starting with the globe. And the reason I'm saying this is because I look at things every day, and I'm getting back into the real people of today. When we dealing with stuff like the copper color Americans and stuff like that, right? They hide. People today still, right, are like, y'all are crazy. We not the original people of America, but yet you got the Cleveland Indians, the baseball's face, right, as a red man face, right? But the red really is the copper color that they hiding, right? And the Redskins uniform, the Atlanta Braves. Like I heard Bro Sanchez talking the other days about we got to be brave, or even Brandon. Somebody saying we got to be brave, and I'm like, the Atlanta Braves. Y'all don't see that? That's the normal attribute of the people, right? And damn, I lost my train of thought, man.
I agree, though.
Oh,
What
no,
you
you
saying?
was on like the land of the brave. You was on like the Indians, the Redskins. They was telling the Redskins to change their logo because they was spitting in the face of the Indians. But yeah, you was
Yep.
more just on how they
Even
giving us symbols, letting us
even out
know.
here, we had the St. John's team. They changed from the red something to the red storm. That used to be the Redmen, St. John's Redmen. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Right out here, and they changed it to the red storm. Um, but when you look at LeBron James, right? Like when you say that's where I was going. You Nicole had mentioned if we, you know, what if the people did have powers and stuff like that. When you look at LeBron James, right? Like I'm not even a big on LeBron James, but he is phenomenal. 15 years in playing like some of his best basketball that he ever played, right? That takes that
Hey,
physical ability looked at by somebody who does not have that, you're seen
I
as
gotta
God.
cut in. I
That's
gotta
no
cut
like no
in.
question about that. Not just say LeBron, but I'm thinking about also like what Michael Jackson was able to do, different entertainment, different things. That's just different
Hey,
ways that you can
hey,
Yeah,
exhibit
hey, hold
those
definitely.
on,
abilities, but
bro.
they get manipulated by the people whose eyes are focused and know that we are those beings, and they extract it and make it a spectacle instead of showing you how to harness it and
Well,
develop
yeah.
it and shit like that.
Hey,
That's what I'm
I
Even
saying.
gotta
even us, though, it's
hold on. I gotta cut in. I know LeBron James personally. That's why I gotta cut in. I'm from Akron and all that. Dude, ain't nobody in his family over fucking 6 foot tall. Period. Nobody. So what happened was, like I know him, I live with him, everything. This is real talk. I ain't rich or nothing, so don't get it twisted. But anyway, dude was 6'1", and then in the seventh, between the seventh and ninth grade, he went to 6'6", right? So now it got me thinking, do they got some type of serum they can give you to make you this? You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like,
maybe.
like to make you 6'8", 240 when your mom 5'4", your uncle 5'6", you know what I'm saying? What's even spookier, bro? When they get to talking about these sacrifices and all that, I don't believe it's no sacrifice on his behalf, but I hang with his uncle or whatever, right? His uncle's mom died on Christmas, right?
Hmm.
It's real talk. He was born 6 days later on the 30th. His birthday, December 30th. His grandma death was on Christmas. That shit deep as fuck. But go ahead, y'all finish building.
That's
I feel
interesting.
you on that. I feel you on that, and that's why I kind of said too, where we have these abilities still, but
Hmm.
like even on that aspect where they can take you out of your element and put you in a position where they control it. Like you in the circus, like you watch the movies where they have these people in the circus, or
Yeah.
even in say in professional wrestling, like the film The Wrestler, you see the dark side of the game where it's you putting on a show for these people, but it's at the expense of your life, and you're signed your soul, you signed up for this shit, and so they have some, I don't put it past it. And the only reason I'm gonna
Oh,
say
he
that
the he the
is
chosen one
let me
though.
hold on 1 second. I'm gonna just want to say this real quick because like you mentioned about LeBron, right? And why I would why I would agree with you just off that alone is because I'm from out here in Brooklyn. I play ball, and I grew up with a dude that went to the NBA. And when we was growing up, he was not nowhere designated to grow that tall. I'm 6'2". I'm 6'2". When we was growing up, they wasn't around them type of time, no, them type of heights. When they got around like high school, going into junior college, sometime around there, next thing you know, man, come back 6'3"
I
and
bet they went
body
away.
like a.
Hey,
He
didn't he
played for
go
the
away?
Pacers, bro.
Hold on. Didn't he go away where y'all ain't seen for 3 months? He went and stayed like
For
Mike
for
Tyson.
for for
Ken,
months, I ain't even see his dude.
Ken,
Yo,
Hell
Ken, is that
yeah.
you?
yeah, where?
And did you say like something happened to you actually where you went into the hospital yourself
Oh,
that
oh
that had
yeah.
the opposite effect? What I was gonna say is like that's what I'm talking about. Isn't that strange? Like it's almost like some people they go
Mm,
away because Kanye West that happened to him. He had like a I think it was almost like a near death
yeah, and I'm
situation or
thinking too.
whatever.
I had a couple of that too, because like I got hit by a car when I was 12 years old, broke my left leg,
But
and I
they
promise you,
have
my
access,
athletic abilities was beyond normal. It was
right?
definitely, and but then again, I got into the hospital early late in my 20s,
Right.
like from the mental aspect, and
But
again, like you know what I mean.
but what I'm saying is like it's almost like some people they can take it away and some people they can give it to.
That's what I
Like
feel. That's what I
that's what
yeah.
I'm trying to say. Like it's weird. Um because like you were even you know you guys were saying like maybe somebody disappeared for 3 months like usually it's like they had like their tonsils out or something weird like it's just but giving them that access that's how they could I mean technically if you went to experiment on somebody you'd have the perfect opportunity and the way they are at hospitals like they don't ask questions they just start stabbing you with stuff taking your
Hmm.
blood it's crazy and you really don't have an idea because they would give me like just after I had a baby, they gave me like pills, and I'm like, what is this?
Yep.
It's like it, like nowhere else could you give somebody medication without a label on it. It's like, what is this?
Yeah. Like I
Man,
seen far too many
I,
times, man.
I passed too much information. I passed a kidney stone or whatever, right? They
Hmm.
give me this like, little MRI thing. They put me under this whole CAT scan thing, right?
Yeah,
Okay, do the CAT scan, everything come back negative. They do the blood work, everything come back negative. But I tell them it's a kidney stone. The nurse like, man, how you know that? I'm like,
right.
I don't. I just knew. Well, anyway, the doctor come out as I'm about to check out, and she just staring at me. And to this day, I want to know what the hell she saw that I don't know about, because she was looking at me like I was some type of god or something. She was like she
Yeah,
just the whole doctor. You never see the doctor in an emergency room. You don't see him come out to the waiting room, and she come out and she just staring at me. So I go up to
yeah.
her and I'm, what's going on? She was like, you're just amazing. I'm like, what's amazing about me? What the fuck about? I leave out, but she saw something in that CAT scan and everything they ran that wasn't normal. It was something where she like, wow, dude, you
I'm
that
sure a
one
lot of
percent.
people. I believe
Or
you though. I'm saying I'm sure a lot of people even on the panel could attest to that. Like it's definitely I mean that's definitely sounds common and it's like or you might I might witness that happen to somebody else, but they'll never tell you or like you said clarify, but it's something up because it's like or or just wanting you to come back or give more blood or whatever. It's just kind of like, what are like it's more to the story than just what meets the eye. So
yeah,
that's
or you can look through your family tree and like say your mom never been locked up, your dad never been locked up, they mom, they dad never, you never gonna be locked up. Or you can look through another family tree, he
I
locked up,
know.
was locked up, his dad was locked up, and it go all the way back.
I know, and that's what Ken was saying, and that's what we were like that. That's why with that one time, even when I was like, people are different. The reason why I also I felt like people were different is because I don't know if this is kind of like weird and personal, but like it's kind of like when I was younger, like I had certain like I guess talents or whatever, But and people would be like, oh, you should do this, you should do acting, theater, even athletic. Like my dad was very athletic, but it didn't matter. What I'm trying to explain is, for whatever reason, like certain doors, or even a lot of people on the panel that talk will be so close to like famous people, so close to fame, so close to a lot of things, but it's like it's not really you. It's like your realm is different. Your realm can be different. Like you could be there with people and then they perish and you don't. Like it's like, how does that happen? Or you're there with certain people and they get chosen and you don't, but then later you're like, I wasn't supposed to be chosen for that. I wasn't supposed to go for that. And it's like, but your will, you might would have wanted that, but it wasn't offered to you or given to you. And it's like later you understand why, but at the time it's not very clear. But collectively, when you think about all these doors that might not have been open for you, so that another path you had to take, it's like is something divine about that, or corrupt? I'm not really sure. Maybe it's a little bit of both.
It is corrupt. Look, the chapter 3. This is why I be reading this shit. God ain't make the serpent according to the. I'm just going according to the Bible.
I agree. Go ahead.
Because it said, now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord God had made. Right? Way they worded it, showing you that he ain't making.
It's a different creator God. The creator God for, it's almost, I don't understand it completely, but the creator God for man, or at least the lineage that they're describing, and Adam and Eve and their lineage is not necessarily the same creator God of.
Hey,
look.
No, hold on. Let me say this because they just said it. The creator God. Now let's add one word. The creator created God. You feel what I'm saying? The creator created God. Nothing created the creator. You know what I'm saying? So there's a God and there's a devil, so be it. There's a goddess, so be it. Who cares? They're not the creators. That's why they say gods and goddesses in the Bible, but keep going.
Yeah, but so that's the other point. I'm sorry. I was just trying to say this is where my question comes, is it's almost like I struggle with identifying, the creator God. Is that who we should thank for our being, or is it not? If that, if you think about it, what if the creator God is corrupt, but there is what do you call it? The most high God, who is uncorruptible. And then that's what I'm trying to say is when we get to this place of almost like when you think about being in your higher chakras where you're resonating with, you care, but you care less. You know what I mean? Like you're resonating in that in between space of like, you're not sad and you're not happy. That's loud. Who is that? I'm just saying, like, I just wonder about that, like, because there clearly is different gods or godlike. I mean, I don't think that should be something that people don't realize. I do think that there's like powerful negative energy, very, very powerful negative energy that whether you want to call it Satan or not, whether it's good or bad or not, I don't know. But what I'm trying to say is
we are angels. Like you can just say, hey, how you doing? Those some nice shoes you got on. And keep walking, and you was an angel to that person. They probably was about to kill themselves. They probably was they self-esteem was so low, and you be like, oh, you look nice today, and you keep walking. God used you as an angel right then. That person was like, they went into the bathroom as they walked past you at work and smiled ear to ear, like, oh my God, okay, right, I needed that.
What I'm saying though is, I agree with you for that, but what I'm trying to say is, when we think about that, there are people who are backwards. They just are backwards. I don't know why they are. Like there's some people, it's almost like, like no matter what they're given or what opportunities they have, they're still going to go backwards. So So
Yeah,
how
that's
do you
true.
explain that the fact that, you know, you, if given all the resources, may take a bunch of people up, you know, with you into your prosperity, but then there's somebody who, whether they were born in prosperity or not, they still will step on people's throats to just for fun. So
On
I'm
selfish
saying,
shit. Right.
right. So I'm saying that that I do think that there are. It's almost like there is this divide, I guess. And so to think that we're all the same is kind of like you may be pulling the wool over your eyes and not seeing the fact that we're not. Like everybody isn't really out for your best interest, or everybody who says, you know, nice shoes are sincere, you
Right,
know.
right.
Or
So
somebody
if
might say your nice shoes and steal them for you, you know, in the locker room when you working out.
yeah, I'm so with you on that because you know, I'm gonna have to say, you know, Bro Sanchez, we mentioned his name in a lot of positive light tonight. Shout out to Bro Sanchez, but he mentioned it the other day. He's like, I'm on my audience, I'm from the center. But as one of my buddies, it's one of the main skeptics in my circle out here in Brooklyn would say, "Where do you get your stats from?" Like you're like, "Where you get your stats from, bro? Like, where you getting? What do you know?" Because to me, it's like, yeah, we can say that. Like, yeah, we all come from God, but then again, that doesn't define who you are in a sense of your individuality, in a sense of your personality,
Yeah, or
because
your
He
we all
preaching right
purpose.
now. He preaching
right,
right now.
you
He
know,
preaching.
because when I look at the word spirit, it take me to the personality, right, of you,
Hmm.
right, because they say espiritu in Spanish, and it deals with the breath, expire, like the spire, right, the breath, the spirit, like what you breathing, like what are you, what you made of, you know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, we all can be from the center, but we all are not at the center anymore. We are in different spots. We are either
Well,
on the left side or on the right side or playing both sides of the fence, but we ain't in the middle at all. It's like we cannot live there because of
hey,
like
Oh
whatever
yeah, and
happened.
I did say the middle,
let
didn't I?
me say this. Reason why you can't be in the center, man. I mean, it's impossible. I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you because we not the creator. First of all, that's the one in the center. Second of all, it will lose its balance. You need somebody doing
No, I
way
disagree.
better than you. You can disagree, but this is real shit. You need somebody doing way better than you and way worse than you for you to see where you at.
Okay,
Now, if
so
everybody was in the center, we would all be godly. So who
no.
would know the devil?
Okay,
Who
so
would
you,
know?
who needs to? But what I was trying to
And
say
we
about the
wouldn't know
center,
God. We wouldn't
okay,
know
that's not
God.
true. That's just what you think. But let me go ahead.
All right,
I wanna
let me
I wanna
let
rebut that
me
when
give
he's
you two
finished.
sentences. Let me give you two sentences.
All right.
If that motherfucking fire is hot, you wouldn't know it was hot if you ain't never knew what was cold.
Why do they
You see
walk on
what?
poles though?
No, I said you wouldn't know that it was cold. If there's no medium between the two, you wouldn't know left from right if there was no left and
Sorry,
right.
but there's some people who they don't need to go through something to understand it. So this is what I'm trying to say.
I ain't saying
That's their
nothing
level
about.
of elevation.
No, I was keeping the balance. I'm
Okay,
saying
yeah, but I don't know. We
you
might not be
wouldn't
talking
know
about the same
nothing
thing.
about. Right, I'm talking about balance. I'm talking about this.
Okay, so
You
that's what
said
I'm
the
talking
tree of
about.
life.
Balance is
Listen,
teetering, not either
listen,
too low or too
listen,
high. It's at the
listen,
center.
listen. He said the tree of life, right?
I
He
didn't say the
said,
tree of life.
not, no, he said the tree
Oh,
of life.
okay.
He
All
said,
right.
but there's some people on the left of it, there's some people on the right of
Okay.
it, but I don't think we in the center. So I said, you can't be in the center because you ain't the creator. Now to get the
Right.
left and the right, how you know you more to the left is because it's more people to the right, or vice versa. Or you
Okay.
wouldn't know. You wouldn't know if it's dark outside if you never saw the daytime. It'd be
Okay.
normal. That's
Okay.
all I was
So
saying.
no, I see what you're saying, but what I was saying, just so that we have understanding, if that's possible, it is that I was trying to say, like, when you look at the fact that it's almost like having the foresight. You may not believe in Jesus Christ or Hare Krishna or whatever, or Buddha, but what they talk about is a place of like not being one or the other. So what I'm saying is that's how a person has that ability, that if you slap their face, they can turn the other, because it's like it doesn't really make a difference. And at the same time, if you have a lot of money, regular people would say, oh, you have a lot of money. But to somebody who's in the middle, it doesn't make a difference whether you have a lot of money or you have no money, you know? So it's kind of like, that's what I'm talking about, like resonating in a space that is not, tipping, the scale doesn't tip
Right.
because of all these things that the world would measure you, you know, give you weight according to those things. But
Yeah, that's
counting
called
out
the middle
joy
way.
type of thing, counting out joy is saying that, like, okay, whether you have tattered clothes on or, you know, nicely pressed expensive clothes, like, I'm really going to treat you the same regardless. And so that's
Yeah,
where I
that's
was trying to
well put.
say.
That was
Okay.
well put, man. Hell
Okay.
yeah, that was well put.
Okay, thank you. So I'm glad that you understand. That's what I wasn't trying to argue. I was just trying to say that that place is hard to get. That's why I was saying earlier, like, we have to make a conscious effort to be in that space, because it isn't normal or necessarily, well, we haven't been conditioned to be in. Maybe babies are. Babies, you know, it is sometimes babies, they don't like some people, but after a kid gets a certain age, if you give them all love, then they just think everybody's good, all right, you know, they don't be like, oh, this person looks this, and they're not petty like that. But it's like we're conditioned to say this is nice. But how about being able to look at anything and say it's all nice?
Instead of
That's
division, right?
right.
Hell yeah.
Instead of, yeah, but that's all I'm trying to say. It's like it's hard for me but it's not hard, but what I'm saying is to see the beauty in everything, or see the value in anything you see, and not have preference. But I know I'm naturally like that. Like, people will be like, what's your favorite color? What's your favorite this? And I'm like, what's your favorite music? And I'm like, I don't have a favorite. Like, I'm like, that's weird. Like, how do you have a favorite? It's like, you
Yo,
know, you
I'm the
like,
same way though. I
you
can't
feel,
a favorite
yeah,
color. I don't have a best
or a
friend.
favorite ice
None of that
cream
stuff.
or something. I'm like, it's like it depends on my mood, or it depends on, you know what I mean? It's like there isn't one that is. I can't put one above the other, because that doesn't make any sense. I'm like, this is good, this is good, this is good. It's like, but anyway, the world tries to make us put something on top of something else, and something's got to go on the. It's like something's got to go on the bottom. It's like, no, not, you know, like you said, with not having the best friends, like, you know, we all can be friends.
All right, no,
Like
that no,
I ain't
I
one.
can't 100%. I can ask both of y'all this. You trying to tell me, okay, out of all your relationships, both of y'all, there was one better than the other one. If you got more than 3 kids, there's one better than the other one. You got 3 cars, there's one better than the other one.
But
You
here's my thing
you
though.
got
I didn't
But
want to. I didn't. I wasn't
got
going to
one
declare one better than the other. Like, cause oh my God, oh my God.
ain't
This was
got
like
to
we
declare.
young, we
You
young,
don't
and this is young. This is like 7, 8 years old, and they're asking me if this dude, my boy Tori, who's still my friend to this day, one of my best guys to this day, and I still won't call him my best guy because
right,
my other
right,
guy, we grew
right.
up together. That's my guy too, and it's like it's a thousand of my best guys. It's my best guy. So no,
If
I
I
don't have
give you
a
you
best
know,
friend.
if I give you a choice, you got a choice. You
Nah,
can't
I can't
choose
choose
around that.
one.
Okay, now
I
boom,
can't
you
choose
got it.
one.
can
You
you?
got a motorcycle. Hold on, you got a motorcycle, you got a car, and you got a truck. You gonna like one better than the other one.
No,
You
let
got
me
a
Yeah,
car.
but my
let me
boys
let
ain't. But
me
my boys ain't no
let
different like that. They
okay, let
all the
me
same. But
let
go
me
ahead,
Man,
sis.
answer.
you
Okay,
gotta
I was
have a
just gonna
balance
say
medium.
that you know what, you might would do better if they were all like the same vehicle, but even still, that's why I'm saying it's not the same. So what I'm saying is your motorcycle is good in the summertime. It's good when the weather is hot, when the road is dry. But
Absolutely.
it's not good in the cold. It's not good when it rains.
All
You
right.
know, you
So
could
the
die.
choice changed, but
So
the choice
yeah,
changed.
but you can choose different things. You can choose what I may like chocolate all this month, okay? But that doesn't mean it's my favorite. Don't get it twisted. It's not my favorite. It's what I'm having every day this month. I might not want chocolate anymore for the rest of the year. So is it really my favorite? No. And
Absolutely not.
it's
You don't want it the rest of the year. But let's talk about favorite and worst. Okay, let's
okay.
deal with seasons. I love winter. Some
Yeah.
people love summer. There's no way around it, or you wouldn't know the difference between them. That's all I'm
It's
saying.
not about knowing the difference, though. What I'm saying is, it's about you being adaptable. It's about you being able
You
to.
like
No,
winter
it's
better
almost
than
like what you
summer.
tell. Oh, no, let me finish though. Let me finish this. What do you tell your kids when they get all upset about something they can't get their way? You try to get them to understand that, like, okay, you may like winter. It's coming around again. Just calm down. It's, the summer. I get what you're saying, that you would say, the summer, will help you appreciate winter better. But I'm saying it doesn't have to. You need to learn how to
And
make the summer work for you. Okay. So,
all right, now, boom, you said it. You said it. Nope, you just answered it. For you, what's best for you? It's like you dating. You got three dudes, right?
yeah,
You got three dudes and you dating. You're gonna
yeah.
look at which one you like the most. You're not gonna be like, you're all the same. I don't care that you cuss too much and you slapped your old girlfriend and you got a wife. No, it matters because you're the
No, that
best.
does that's a little bit different. But what I'm saying is, it
Oh,
doesn't mean that
no.
you're my favorite, though. If I'm choosing you, that doesn't mean I'm choosing you because you're my favorite. I'm choosing you because you're convenient, or you're the most viable option. Because maybe the
Oh, you
guy who
won't
slaps his
find her
ex
that way.
girl is better, or whatever, than you. But what I'm trying to say is, it's almost
I think
like,
you're better
okay,
than me.
huh?
I
No,
feel
I'm just,
cutting
I'm
you
just
off because I've been sipping a little bit. My bad.
right. No,
Sorry
no.
about
What I
that.
was
With
trying to.
somebody else
Hey,
to start
we done
talking.
been on for a minute too. I'm about to end the broadcast and get me something to eat, man. But I appreciate all you guys coming in on the panel, man. Like,
Thank
much
you.
love to all y'all. For real.
All right, now let's rise and now.
Appreciate you too, bro, for sure.
Nah, man, we gonna do this again, man.
Hey,
And I'm gonna say this, man. What you guys doing later?
hey, just send me y'all Facebooks and Instagrams, man, so we can unite all this shit.
We
Yeah,
should go to
man.
Discord. Like, we could
Yeah,
add
come on.
I haven't tried that.
It's
Hey, I'm
real
on Discord
easy. I
too.
don't
I'm
have a
on there.
server, but
I'm
you
on
can.
there. I got a server.
Yeah,
Hey,
Ken's
let's
got a
get on.
server.
The after
Huey's got
party.
a
Yeah.
Hey,
server.
after
Alerts.
Like
party.
what you doing there? How does it work?
Well, we can talk
Man,
on
just
there as well.
download it.
Well, like
Download
this. You
it.
can talk on there like this.
It's way
Download
better.
it. Yes, we could talk on it like this, and then we could have a chat where we
Every
could share pictures,
yeah.
video,
But it don't lie.
diagrams.
Somebody
You can't
send everybody a link to their
I'm
Discord,
gonna
because I
send a
don't
link
have
in the
one.
back chat. I'm gonna send a
Yeah.
link in the back chat. And also Dred's going live too. He sent me a link. I don't know if you guys want to probably pop on or
Yeah,
holler
we
at
do
Dred,
that.
see what's up.
Man, Dress funny, man. He cool as fuck, man.
Well, thanks.
I'm gonna send a link to my Discord in the back chat. And yeah, once you download it, man, we got a lot of the family on there. Flat Earth Unity, Flat Earth Discord. We got man, we got I don't know if y'all mess with IPS. Talking about like just different people from the Flat Earth, different Flat Earthers on there, and people who in their networks as well. And I mean, we got just different levels. We got music on there. There's a lot of things going
Yeah.
on, moving on there.
You gotta get that logo, Nicole.
Yeah, I know. I don't know, Brandon. Where what?
Just
And
screenshot it and make it your picture.
Yeah, no. He's supposed to send it to me.
um,
But yeah,
and
I don't know if you guys are gonna go over to Discord, but we can. I'll go talk over there. Oh, power to
yeah,
the people.
yeah, and
All right, all
and
right.
also
Power to the people.
and also yeah, I was saying like Dread. I don't know. I think he on now as well.
Oh
So,
yeah, I don't know. I didn't get that link.
yeah, he sent
All right.
me
Well,
a link
thanks.
in the back chat on
Well, if you
Facebook.
get the link with Dread, send the link. Just send the link in the chat.
All
Yeah.
All right,
I
yo.
usually
All right. Have a good night.
Yo, appreciate y'all, man, for sure.
Okay.
Hey,
man.
y'all be up because I might want to start another panel later tonight. Do a
All
late
right.
night
Copy
panel.
that.
All right.
Copy
Okay.
that.
All right. Bye.
That'll be easy.